The UN says the cost of the damage from last month's devastating earthquake in Turkey and northern Syria tops $100 billion.
The earthquakes in Turkey and Syria took just minutes to cause devastation that will take billions of dollars and years to repair. UN aid agencies warn that lack of investment in rebuilding will disrupt livelihoods and education, leading to unemployment, poverty and child labour. But a first UN appeal for immediate emergency aid to the earthquake regions is less than 10% funded. UN officials hope for more money at the donor conference next week.
The BBC's Imogene Folks. The UK government says it's ready for legal challenges to a tough new law aimed at stopping tens of thousands of migrants a year from reaching the country in small boats across the English Channel. News and analysis at townhall.com. France has been paralyzed by nationwide strikes, workers up in arms over the possibility of having to work longer.
Garbage collectors, utility workers and train drivers are among the people walking off the job across France to show their anger at a bill raising the retirement age from 62 to 64, which unions see as a broader threat to the French social model, while a fifth of flights have been cancelled at Paris's Charles de Gaulle airport and about a third at Orly airport. 250 protests are expected in Paris and around the country in what organisers hope is their biggest show of force yet against President Emmanuel Macron's showcase legislation. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
Federal Reserve Board Chairman Jerome Powell will be testifying before Congress today. His first testimony on Capitol Hill in about 9 months. Financial markets will be watching closely. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Tuesday.
Yeah, buddy.
Welcome to it. Kind of cloudy, but warm.
It was weird. I was sitting in my car, like hadn't gotten out yet this morning. It was the pink of sunrise. And there wasn't no real clouds or anything. It was just kind of pink outside as the sun was coming up, and I start hearing like crackling in front of me. I'm like, what is happening? And then I look up at my windshield. Raindrops.
Oh, did you get a few?
Little raindrops.
Smattering?
Yeah, a little smattering or a little spittle of rain.
Well, no call for rain. If you see it, it'll be in the smattering form. Or them big dust.
It was just like a little morning shower.
Yeah. Well, good. Well, maybe we'll get a little more. It's just supposed to be cloudy today.
Yeah.
Not really talk of rain really at all this week. So, but, you know, it is
cloudy.
No, we already
got it.
Yeah. But that's usually when we get our best rain.
That's right.
When they don't see it coming.
That's right.
So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But it definitely is spring-like this week. So
yeah.
Enjoy it.
Spring-esque.
Yeah. It's supposed to be mid-70s today.
Nice.
Northwest winds 5 to 15. Cloudy, but it's okay. It means I'll wear my sunglasses.
Yeah.
But I can if I want to.
It's just going to be just moderate.
Well, happy Tuesday. Hope you're having a great one.
I've never been a sunglass person. Like, I mean, because I've had, glasses my whole life. And yeah, I've had clip-ons, and I've had, times when I've taken these off and put sunglasses on, and I've had prescription sunglasses, but, given that my prescription is so thick, prescription sunglasses they kind of look ridiculous on me. It looks like somebody took my glasses and put the lenses into a thing of dye. They just don't look natural.
Yeah.
So I've kind of avoided prescription sunglasses. So the concept of wearing sunglasses to me is sort of like foreign. I mean, I get it. Like, I understand it, but it's just not something I've really ever done.
I've noticed as I've gotten a little older, I'm a little more sensitive to it. So I need them when I drive a lot. Like if it's sunny out and it's driving, and I have to drive, I almost exclusively want to wear the sunglasses.
Like my friend who's never been a glasses person just recently got prescribed glasses, like for the first time in her life. And she's like, it's so weird. She's like, I feel like I'm wearing my sunglasses all the time. I'm like, yeah, that's what it's like. I'm like, I have dents in the side of my head.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm so used to just having these all the time. Yeah,
bridge of my nose.
Exactly, that thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't like how I look without my glasses. I'm so used to seeing
You're just so used to seeing
because I'm so used to seeing me with them. I'm not, I'm not accustomed. I look tired. I look tired and old when I take my glasses off.
I think that's just people with glasses.
Like, to me, with the glasses, I'm like, okay, passable. This, I look exhausted. I look like I've been through some stuff,
Well, it is 7 in the morning.
Still, though.
Maybe our eyes have to work harder so they look tired and older. That's my guess.
Maybe.
I don't know, but I hear you. But I didn't need them as younger, but yeah, as I'm getting older and I'm like driving, that's when I'm like, man, this sun is so bright. I need to wear the glasses.
Well, I've always had natural UV protection, thank goodness, because of lenses. It's always been there. So my eyes are young by that standard. But the only hope I have is I'm just going to find a visor that's big enough and long enough and, can block the sun enough that I can just do this thing and still drive,
Disney World. They got the goofy hats. They have the real long brim.
Yeah. I like how you think. I actually watched a video the other day. It was like what an average couple, two adults can expect to spend for one day at Disney World.
No, I can't imagine. It's
and it's like with the ride pass and all that. And it is like $786 for one day.
Jeez.
Yeah. So, if you want to throw that down to go get that goofy hat, then yeah. But
for the right to sit in line for 2 hours.
And I have kids, and I can't justify it. I could never justify going to Disney World. I can't. I mean, my kids can have fun for free at the park.
Yeah.
I
hear you.
I've seen the limits of their fun. I don't think that it can be, thresholded at Disney World.
You can take them to State Fair or the Eastern New Mexico State Fair and say, this
exactly. I'm a relatively connected dude. I could get somebody to dress up like Elsa and talk to my daughter. I mean,
do it in a back alley where Disney finds out and you get sued. But yeah.
Excuse me, ma'am. You've been served.
They bring a dance troupe.
God, they're litigious. It's almost creepy how litigious Disney is.
I think they got insiders, spies, outers, people that walk amongst us.
Right.
They get paid by Disney, and they see like that guy got a Mickey Mouse costume on.
Disney has a sleeper cell.
Hit the app. Yep, they do it. Well, let me give you the rundown for this Tuesday. Be careful. They're watching.
They're always watching.
Although, to that point, I got a new iPad over the weekend.
Oh, yeah.
And they didn't have any covers for the iPad there. And so my wife and I were talking, not even looking online for covers, just talking about them. And I ended up going and finding a place in the mall to go get it. They had a cover that fit the new iPad.
Sure.
So I got that on there. But now I look at my social media, I just get inundated with iPad covers for sale.
They're always listening.
I didn't even type it in.
Yeah.
We were just sitting there talking about it.
I've told you my story about the Tim Tam, right?
Her too. She's got them too.
I've told you my story about the Tim Tam.
I think so.
Now that I'm saying it, I've said it twice now. You might actually get it too. So I was just having a conversation with a friend about this personal massager that power lifters use called the Tim Tam.
Okay.
I've said it 3 times now. It's this
like Beetlejuice,
intense
be careful.
massager. And I, for 6 months, got nonstop targeted advertising for the Tim Tam. In fact, that's 4 times.
Now we're all going to get it.
It's all. I'm sorry.
Everyone's phone sitting by their radio. The Tim Tam, Tim Tam, Tim Tam.
I'm almost kind of hoping it does, though, because once you see this thing, you're like, I kind of want one.
All right, well,
there's $600 for a massager, but I kind of want one.
I'll let you know in an hour when I'm on my social media here and see
It'll just pop up.
See if Tim Tam's all over it. All right, well, let me give you the rundown for today's show. Here in just a few minutes, Robert Sherman with the Walker Aviation Museum is going to join us, give us an update on what's happening at the museum. In the 8 o'clock hour, about 8:15, we're going to play our interview we had with Jason Burke with VFW Post 12184. He actually joined me over the weekend, and we recorded our little conversation talking about their golf tournament that's coming up here in May, and the great organization that they're supporting up in Ruidoso, real grassroots charity that helps victims of PTSD all across the board, military, first responders. If you have PTSD, they help you. Doesn't matter how you got it. They just want to help you. And then we're going to replay an interview in the 9 o'clock hour we had yesterday from the New Mexico Military Institute. We had Captain Violeta Consulic. I'm pretty sure I messed up her name. She's with the New Mexico Military Institute. She's they've got an entrepreneurship workshop that's happening Friday and Saturday at the Daniels Leadership Center, and she wants to invite everybody out to that. So I'm going to play that interview for you. It's,
no worry. Pronunciation of the name is part of the interview, so it's fine.
It is, so it'll be fixed. She's Serbian.
Yeah,
and
and honestly, very little hint of an accent.
Yeah, if you talk to her at length, you can pick up some words.
Sure.
But yeah, if you just had a quick little conversation with her, you probably wouldn't even realize she's.
That's the second Serbian person I've met in Roswell that has very little to no hint of an accent.
And I was telling her, but my brother, when he went to college. He went to college in New York City, which basically was the Merchant Marine Academy, but it was the state of New York's version of that, the SUNY Maritime Academy. But anyway, his roommate in college is Russian, and he moved from Russia to New York City as a child, and knew zero English. And learned all of his English literally watching TV.
Yeah.
Watching TV.
Johnny Five style.
Yeah. And
that's a really old reference.
Now, I haven't talked to him in like 15 years, so I imagine it's even better now. But if you had a conversation with him, just, again, another shortcut, you wouldn't even tell he Russian. Certain words and things he would pick up. Now, granted, that might have been because he spent his whole time watching TV, and so he picked up American.
Actually, I learned everything I know about English from Wink Martindale. How are you today, sir?
All I can think of is Better Off Dead, where the two guys learned English by watching Howard Cosell. And there he is, the kid. If you know what Better Off Dead is, go look it up, kids. It's an old movie from the 80s starring John Cusack.
I referenced Short Circuit at the beginning of this whole thing, so.
Yeah, back when John Cusack was cool.
When was that?
Cooler.
There was like a 2 year window.
Put it this way: there was a time where people coveted his movies.
Fair enough.
Not so. It was back then.
Yeah. Back in that day.
Not so much now. Anything pre 2012.
Yeah.
Anything after that, forget about it. All right. It is 7:16. Let's get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Stationary front just off to our northeast, and that'll bring us some cloud cover today and a little bit of light rain possible. Our afternoon highs in the low to mid 70s. For the overnight hours, clouds will hang around. We'll drop into the upper 40s. Looks like another cloudy day on Wednesday with afternoon highs in the upper 70s, and then we get sunshine back on Thursday, mid to upper 70s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
By the way, 2012, the movie, not the year. I don't know when the movie came out, but that's the movie. I don't know movie after that, stinko. But prior, something's all right. Currently 55 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 26%. Winds out of the northeast at 3 miles per hour. Cloudy today with highs in the mid-70s. 74 officially with winds out of the northwest, 5 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, cloudy, then gradually becoming partly cloudy with an overnight low of 45. Winds will be out of the west at 5 miles per hour. For Wednesday, partly cloudy and 79. Winds out of the northeast 5 to 15 miles per hour, later shifting to the southwest in the afternoon. Tomorrow night, mostly cloudy, overnight low of 43 degrees. Southwest winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Thursday, mostly sunny and 78. Northwest winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Friday, sunny and 74. And then for your weekend, mostly sunny and 84 on Saturday. Mostly sunny and 77 on Sunday. So, dare I say, light jackets just in the morning for a minute. Then throw them in the backseat of the car and shorts leaving it the rest of the week, it looks like. All right, it is 7:18. Let's get you into your Roswell Livestock Report recap for your Tuesday with Smiley Wooten. Then we'll take a quick commercial. Excuse me, got the hiccups. Quick commercial break. And then on the other side of the break, we'll have Robert Sherman with the Walker Aviation Museum join us. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Good morning, this is Smiley Wooten at the Roswell Livestock Auction. 1,458 head of cattle sold on Monday on a steady to higher market with excellent buyer attendance compared to last week. Stocker calves sold 2 to 5 higher, feeder cattle steady to 2 higher, packer cows steady to 2 higher, packer bulls steady to $4 higher. 3 to 4 pound steers $250, $260, 3 to 400 pound heifers $225, $236, 4 to 500 pound steers $237, $250. 4 to 500 pound heifers $217, $225, 5 to 600 pound steers $207, $237, 5 to 600 pound heifers $175, $217, 6 700 pound steers $176, $207, 6 700 pound heifers $171, $175, 7 800 pound steers $172, $176, 7 800 pound heifers $160, $171, packer cows $90 to $101. Canner and cutter cows 75 to 85, packer bulls $1 to $114, feeder bulls 80 to 85. The cow calf pairs not tested this week. The top half the bred cows $1,200 to $1,500 per head. We do appreciate the business, and we'll talk to you next Monday morning. This is Smiley Wooten, Roswell Livestock Auction.
If your tires are flat, need your car fixed, our reviews are better than mixed at Big O. At Big O Tires. We do the job fast and with a smile. Whatever the problem, we go the extra mile at Big O. At Big O Tires. Trusted service, no need to lie. Hop online, our reviews are high at Big O. At Big O Tires. Unbeatable service in all our stores, and that's why we get such high scores at Big O. At Big O Tires.
With high customer ratings, you can trust your locally owned Big O Tires. Now through March 26th, buy 3, get 1 free on select in-stock Sumitomo or Cooper branded tires with installation purchase. Big O Tires, the team you trust. Installation required. Disposal fees and shop fees extra where permitted. See store for pricing. Eligibility may vary. Not valid with other offers. At participating locations, no cash value.
Nutrien Ag Solutions of Artesia is looking for a CDL driver to join their team. A CDL Class A with hazmat endorsement is preferred, but will accept applicants with a CDL Class B. Applicants without hazmat endorsement, please be willing to obtain one. Nutrien Ag Solutions is a respected and well-established company who values their employees and offers a generous benefits package, competitive pay, and will train the right candidate. To apply, stop in person, Nutrien Ag Solutions, 103 East Mill Road in Artesia, or visit online at nutrien.com. And for more information, call Andrea at Nutrien Ag Solutions, 575-748-3510. Equal Opportunity Employer.
Double Up Days are back at Roswell Honda, and that means double your tax refund up to $2,000 right now. $1,000 gets you $2,000, $1,500 gets you $3,000, and $2,000, well, that gets you $4,000 towards your next vehicle at Roswell Honda, and that's on every make and model across the lot. Bring in your tax refund and let Roswell Honda double your refund up to $2,000. Now's the time to make your dollars go even further, and it all starts right here. Double Up Days are back at Roswell Honda, 2177 West 2nd.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. More than 50% of Americans fall asleep on their sides. That's way better than falling asleep on someone else's side. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 22 minutes after 7 o'clock. And joining us in studio this morning from the Walker Aviation Museum, Robert Sherman back with us. Good morning.
I fall asleep on my side, too. Actually, I'm a side sleeper.
Yeah, and I think
thanks, Mike.
Pets will fall asleep on everybody's sides.
That's right.
They don't care.
That's true.
And we're too nice to kick them out of our spots, too.
Yeah.
But for folks that don't know, Robert joins us once a month and gives an update on what's happening over at the Walker Aviation Museum. And then we also talk a little history of the area when it comes to military and the service of what some of the things that took place in this area that were serviced. Most of it World War II, but some of it a little after and a little before. But mostly that and Cold War era.
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit today about the Hound Dog missile, which, I kind of was aware, but I wasn't that aware until a lady came in from flying and waiting to fly out of here.
Okay.
We're at the museum, and she talks about her father being here in 1962 with a Hound Dog missile, maintenance, and blah, blah, blah. And I go, so I went, did a little more research on it. So I thought I'd talk a little bit about that. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah. Are those the first IC or first missiles that they were putting in before they came in with some of the other
it was
more modern versions?
It came in about 1959. It started being developed. And next thing you know, about 29 wings. I didn't realize that many wings of B-52s. Had them for a while.
Okay.
We had 2 of our bomb squadrons here had the Hound Dog missile. 2 out of the 3 B-52 squadrons.
Okay. I didn't. I'm not a whole lot familiar with their capabilities and stuff, and because they were long gone by the time I got, and I was just kind of curious what some of the. Like, was it one of these precursor to some of the more
long, skinny, sharp nose on it with the little wings at the tip?
Was it air to air or air to ground?
And it was a turbojet underneath it.
Okay.
Yeah,
was it designed for air to air capabilities?
No, it was air to ground.
Okay. So it was kind of. Did it have any smart capabilities or any guidance or anything?
It did later.
Okay.
At first, it was kind of pretty limited, and then it got to be more of where it could follow the terrain and stuff.
Okay. Because for folks that may not realize, like a lot of laser guided or especially the laser guided bombs, a lot of those are old Navy dumb bombs that they convert. Like a GBU-10 is a 2,000-pound laser guided bomb. It has the body of a Mark 84, which is an old 2,000-pound bomb, dumb bomb,
gravity bomb. Yeah.
And then basically they replace the seeker head on it with the smart part that makes it think. And then they got the fin package that guides it because there's no propulsion.
Right.
It's free falling, and then with laser guided, it picks up a laser that's its kind of guide, and it'll follow that laser to the target. And the aircraft can paint it. The early versions they had a guy on the ground painting it, but like I know with stealth, what I worked on, it would be the aircraft would paint the target and guide the laser guided bomb, which works great. Unless you got a cloudy day, then they get to be a problem. That's when they brought in the GPS bombs because they don't need they're not hindered by cloud cover and things like that.
Yeah.
But anyway, sorry, I got off topic.
Okay. Yeah, we're out at the Walker Museum, by the way. I'll throw this out early and then late again, but if everybody out there want to go to our website at wafbmuseum.org and then click on the education slot. If it's on a computer, it's right at the top, or the little bars up the upper right-hand corner, and select education, and then you can scroll down and see kind of what our program is we have out there for like 12 to 18-year-old kids. I say that because I'm 80 years old. 12 to 18-year-old adults or young adults.
Which, by the way, you would never know. You move and act and like a man much younger than that.
I'm okay. Well, thank you.
Matter of fact, put a uniform on this man. I bet you could. You can mistake him for a general today. You put him in and have him walk around. They'll be like, "Oh, he's a general."
No, yeah. So anyway, you go to the wfbmuseum.org and select education, and then select. Go on down, and you can hit an area that talks about professional pilot training. You can click on that, and there's 38 videos of professional pilot training by the same company. It gives you about 12 hours worth of training. So if you took and listened to all those and studied that, and then you showed up to go maybe train as a pilot, you'd be one smart cookie.
I This is the thing. If there's anybody listening that has any interest in desiring to get their pilot's license and learning to fly, the first thing you should do is talk to Robert, talk to the folks at the museum here, and get some time on that simulator. It really gets you to see if this is something you want to do, and it's a whole lot cheaper to learn this way than start paying for flying lessons and all the other expenses involved there. But B, you're actually starting towards your training. You're in the simulator. That's counting as actual logging hours and things for your flight hours and stuff like that. It's all legit. So yes, flying can be very expensive, paying for the training and all that. But there are ways to do it very affordably, and starting out by talking to the Walker Aviation Museum and getting in on the trainer and learning a little bit and some of the aspects could be, pardon the pun, but your flight plan to whatever career or passion that you have down the road here. So.
Right. And besides, if you're don't know exactly and may not be, aviation, on our website, if you go down until you see 3 photos, kind of one shot of me from the back, and then Bob Donnell, our great helper out there helping the kids. Right above those photos is a little block that says comprehensive list of STEM jobs, STEM being science, technology, engineering, or math. And you can click on that and you go to a different website. And we found out later it happens to be the same website that I know at least Goddard uses.
Okay.
But when you get that website, it lists alphabetically 331 STEM jobs. And some of them, I never heard of before, but they're interesting.
Yeah.
And you can click on it, and it'll probably end up giving you anywhere from 20 to 30, 40 pages of information about that particular job.
Oh, wow. That's a lot.
Yeah.
So,
then toward the bottom of the list, if you're from Roswell area and you're not out of town, we've listed about 500 STEM-type jobs, quote unquote, in the Roswell region.
Oh, wow.
So if you're getting ready to get out of high school, you can say, well, I'm interested kind of in stuff like that, and then you'll see a list. I don't have phone numbers or addresses listed, but you get the name of the company and you can look it up yourself.
Absolutely, but it gives you a path to start planning and deciding it out. Absolutely.
Yeah, this week we've got matter of fact today, David West, David Commandant out there,
the New Mexico Military Institute.
New Mexico Military Institute Aero Club. I think it's called Aero Club. It might be Aero something else, but anyway, they're coming out today for about just a short visit. They only have about 45 minutes they can be there. But anyway, they're going to come out.
You'll give them a tour.
Today, about 4 o'clock.
Nice.
And then next week we have scheduled the local Catholic school here, the middle school group.
Oh, cool.
Are coming out for about 2.5 hours.
Is it All Saints or?
Yeah, I guess the one up there in North Kentucky.
Yes, that's it.
All Saints. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shame on me. I should remember that. That's one of those days. Okay. Anyway, they're coming up next week, and they'll be there for about 2.5 hours for our full program that you'll see if you go to our website. That's one of the first things you come to after you hit education.
Cool. Very good. Yeah. And by the way, if you're a youth group or an educational group or anything like that, these opportunities are available to you. Just reach out to the museum. Go to the website there and shoot a message or on the Facebook, and they'll be happy to get back with you and tell you more or talk to you more about making arrangements for that kind of stuff. They do it all the time. So same thing with if you just want non-youth groups, if you're having a civic organization or something that would like to arrange a tour for your organization, please reach out to us and the folks will be happy to do all that.
Yeah, so. I had a good experience this week. I got a phone call from a friend of mine, Roger Landry. He was the hospital commander when I was at Beale with the SR-71 U-2.
Okay.
And then...
sorry. It's 80 degrees in here. I have the window open, and they're replacing the trash dumpster outside, so it's dinging.
So anyway, Roger Landry came by, and then he went on to become the chief fly surgeon for the Air Force. So I worked for him, kind of with him when I was at Beale, and then when I went to headquarters Air Force, worked on try to run the aerospace physiology program. He was the chief fly surgeon for the Air Force. So
oh wow,
we had a lot of connections, but I hadn't seen him in a long time, and he was driving through with his wife. So I said, I'll meet you at cattle baron, 12 noon. Getting a little cattle baron advertisement here. But so I thought, well, you just want to come through. He's on the way to Amarillo. So typically, he's coming down from Albuquerque. I said, okay, we'll meet you there. He said, I'll meet you there at noon. So I said, okay, fine. So I'm thinking to myself, well, I better get there early, da-da-da. I got there, actually running kind of late, and I got there, and I had to complain to him. I said, you told me you'd be there at noon, but you were actually there about 10 seconds early. He was driving in. We actually could have hit each other.
Oh, wow.
Vehicles. So it was like, I forgot. He's pretty exact on the.
Well, I imagine being a flight surgeon.
Yeah.
Usually people like that probably live in a world of minutes and seconds. So or did at one point. So that's how their brains are wired.
Yeah,
so.
But he's still really active with public health and stuff. So anyway, he's a cool guy.
Good deal. Very cool. But by the way, so please reach out. Now, if you'd like to just come and check out the museum at your leisure, it generally works around the flight schedule. So during usually mid-morning, it'll open up till after lunch there.
The flight schedule, the midday flight schedule just recently changed from a takeoff, American Airlines, of about 10 till 2 to about 10 till 1.
So it's
so now we're out there from about 10:30 in the morning until about 1 o'clock.
Okay. So through the lunch and a little before, a little after.
Yeah,
So
right.
hour or two after lunch, basically, before and after lunch.
Yeah.
And the lunch hour, of course.
And if you call our phone number, I try to keep the voice message up to date based on the flight schedule. So
good deal.
It'll tell you what time we're open.
So you can kind of check
that's
that
Monday
in.
through Saturday.
Very good. So 6 days a week. Of course, if you go to wafbmuseum.org, you can learn more about the schedule and all that good stuff there too as well. www.wafbmuseum.org.
Right.
If you'd like to make a donation too, that's another great way to support. There's that, and of course, if you want to do the Amazon Smile, the museum has that. So you click the link to the Amazon Smile there, and then every time you shop on Amazon, a few pennies of whatever you purchased goes directly to the museum. It doesn't cost you anything extra, and you won't even notice it. And just an easy way to help out the museum a little bit. So,
yeah, we're starting today is a kind of a big day we've been looking forward to. I think after a little training today at 3 o'clock, starting tomorrow, we will be using a credit card machine.
Okay.
And we get a lot of people coming in that don't carry cash.
Sure, we're in a society that cashless.
Nice caps for sale and stuff. So we're not going to get too much involved, probably with like internet sales, because right now we just barely have enough people to keep the doors open and run that. But if we open it up to, say, like the Facebook that we're talking about, there was like 40,000 SAC people on. If all of a sudden you get a whole bunch of people, that'd be a full-time job.
Yeah, you would.
Shipping out that stuff and trying to keep track of the.
That's true.
Yeah.
Of course, it could be quite lucrative if.
Yeah, it could be. Right now, our board members, myself, Allie Bishop's our treasurer, Katie Yates, Sandy Correa, secretary, Bob Donnell, of course, Juliana Halverson, Judy Armstrong, Jerry Cloffer, Friar Jodek Nowacki, Stephen Miller, and Ted Smith, the new volunteer at the museum. He joined us recently. And in absence is still Doug Murray, wants to keep up with what's going on. Jill Murray.
Yeah, well, he's got a bit of a commute to come to meetings now. So,
and our claim to fame is I'm a lot more mature than he is because I was born 13 hours earlier than he was. So we found out we're born almost in the.
You got to hold that over him too. Whatever he gets, now.
Yeah, I told him that, and that's
kids
an old
nowadays.
joke I've said on the radio before that
these kids
I used to
nowadays.
kid him. He's so serious, and I said, I don't know why I feel like I'm more mature than you are. It's kind of hard to say that to a guy that's a retired brigadier general versus measly colonel, but whatever.
This is true. True.
But I said, well, found out that probably we figured maybe about 13, 14 hours I was on the earth running around and wiggling before he was. So.
Yeah, but that's so much more experience.
Oh, I know. True.
I mean, you got 13 hours more of crying, sleeping, pooping. You could, that's
right.
That's a lot of experience.
Too much information.
But if you're looking to get involved and volunteer, there's always as a docent and things,
Absolutely.
or maybe up to serving on
and
the
we're
board.
looking for
Yeah.
Actually, we have a couple folks that are on the verge of possibly joining us.
Okay, good.
So
more the merrier.
If they do join, I'll mention them next time. But
As a matter of fact, I saw Ted at our American Legion meeting last week too. So it's good to see
did you?
Ted.
Oh, okay, good.
I got a chance to catch up with Ted last week. So, he's if you get to know him, he's a good guy. But in a former life, he did a lot of intel work with the military, and so he's just a good guy to talk to if you want to know about current affairs and things like that. He despite the fact that he's no longer serving in those roles, he keeps his nose to the grindstone. He knows
and
he knows what's going on.
When
in
he's
the
not
world.
doing something else or sleeping or eating, he's reading history.
Yeah,
and
he's
mostly military.
Yeah,
history. And now he's into Roswell.
He absorbs copious amounts of information.
Right.
That's hence the reason probably why he ended up in Intel.
That's right.
But it was good to see him. So and if you're lucky enough to have him as your docent when you're out there, use him. He's a wealth of information. So.
Yeah. Don't ask him too much because he may tell you that if he tells you, he'll have to kill you.
Oh, you don't want that. You don't want that. Although you could probably bribe him with a burrito from the
that's probably
from
true.
the restaurant there.
That's true. Yeah. Hey, let's give just a quick little history before we suddenly run out of time.
Yeah, sure.
We had a lady come out a couple weeks ago, and she was really interested in seeing some stuff. She actually called ahead and was there, and she said her father was here in about 1962 and was working with the Hound Dog missile, and I wasn't that familiar with it. Shame on me, I should be, because the B-52s here in Roswell were, two of the squadrons were carrying the...
Were they the first aircraft to carry him, or...
B-52s? Yeah.
Or exclusive aircraft to carry him, maybe?
I think so, because they weighed about 12,600 pounds, fully loaded with fuel and everything. Because they had one of the Navy jet fighters as a turbojet hanging underneath it.
Okay.
It wasn't a ramjet, it was a turbojet. And the turbojet was designed to function at like max power settings.
Okay.
And they said the life of that jet engine was only about 6 hours long.
Okay.
But in the meantime, I didn't realize this missile could fly initially at 5,000 feet, because if it launched it, it had to fly at the same altitude. It couldn't, if it came across a mountain was coming toward them, it'd just fly right in the mountain.
Okay.
Now, later on, they did some modifications to different models of the Hound Dog missile, and it would, kind of follow the terrain more closely.
So it had some kind of guidance.
But it could fly at 56,000 feet at about 2.1 Mach.
Wow.
So, 2.1 times the speed of sound.
It got fast.
Yeah.
And I imagine...
Yeah, it was...
I'm trying to think, a lot of the fighter aircraft, the Chuck Yeagers of the world were going that fast, but I don't think the typical military aircraft were doing Mach 2 at that point.
No. And they were at that altitude, too, so...
Yeah.
Which I always found that to be surprising. But anyway, yeah. And again, another thing that I found I just totally didn't know this. They hung under a pontoon between the fuselage and the first inboard pair of engines. Okay. And once it was on there, they had modifications so that during an alert, which meant, General LeMay wanted, the bombers, B-52s, to be off the ground in 15 minutes on notification. And one of the reasons for that was inbound potential ballistic missiles that would obliterate Walker or whatever base you happen to be on, which is not a good thought if you lived in Roswell. But anyway.
Well, that was the Cold War. That was the mindset of the Cold War, yeah.
But they were able to, during takeoff, activate those jet engines as additional thrust.
Okay.
And they could speed away after takeoff from the base that might be obliterated just seconds later,
Okay. Kind of like if you ever watched the Blue Angels air team, I believe the C-130 that accompanies them, I believe it's got the rocket pods on it, so it has a launch assist. Obviously different deal here, but same concept.
Right.
Is using that. That's the other time I've seen it. And I've seen it on C-130s where they use like a rockets to help launch it off the get it up and up quick. So same concept here, but that's the only time and in modern times I still know that they use that kind of stuff. So, but
And
Blue Angels.
After they use that to help it get away from the base as far, get as far away as possible, as fast as possible, then it was set up that they could refuel the Hound Dog missile from the fuel that was in the B-52, so that when they did launch it, it had a full load of fuel.
Oh, okay.
So that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
So
what kind of guidance did it have on there? Do you know? Is it just you planned, or did it use like a radar or heat seeking capability to track a target?
Yeah, I think it had. That's probably what I need. I'll follow on next.
Oh, I'm just curious. I'm a weapons guy, so I'm kind of nosy.
It was developed initially because, for example, Moscow had fixed during 1959-60, fixed, ground to air anti-aircraft missiles.
Okay.
Surrounding, like, for example, Moscow or other targets.
Sure.
So therefore, if a B-52 was going after that target, it's not good having those missiles coming at you. And the Hound Dog was developed to go in and take out those fixed, and they would be clearly seen from satellite photos.
Okay.
Where they were, and
I would imagine it may have had some kind of radar guidance where it could kind of obviously probably a rudimentary compared to what they're using.
They had
today.
a range of almost 700 miles.
That's pretty big.
So it's not like they launched it when they were just like 50 miles away.
Sure, yeah.
They launched it pretty far out.
Yeah, they
could also launch it against air, interceptor bases too.
Basically, if we're here, their target's in like Louisiana. That's about that's about where they could have launched it from. From here, shot it here, and it hit Louisiana.
Yeah, you're coming in from White Sands, flying over Roswell. You'd fire it, so we'd go after, say, Dallas.
Yeah,
things that were around Dallas. Anyway, you're right.
But just kind of give perspective for people.
Right. But initially, it was called the B-77, and as far as the military designation.
Yeah.
Then it was called the GAM 77, and I was for a while trying to figure out what's it mean, ground to air. No, and it was ground attack missile.
Ground attack missile.
Then it changed to AGM 28.
That's air to ground missile.
Air to ground missile.
Yeah. So AGM. So that was an AGM 88.
AGM 28.
Oh, 28. Okay. Because I dealt with a little bit of AGM 88s in tech school.
Right.
I didn't have a lot of experience with them because I was initially trained on F-16s.
Yeah, AGM 28.
Okay. The F-16 carries a lot more munitions than the aircraft I ended up doing most of my time on. So I didn't deal with them a lot. But yeah, we dealt with some of those kind of munitions, the AGM 88s, some because F-16 could carry air to air or air to ground. So.
Right.
Whereas an F-15, for folks who don't know, unless it's an E model, cannot carry air to ground munitions.
Yeah.
So okay, what? And so it was a 12,000 pound. Is that what you said it was?
Yeah, it was 12,600 pounds.
That's huge.
Under both, so two of those hanging under the wings. Then, of course, the B-52 would still have, full load of bombs or whatever.
It's almost like carrying a mini jet on the wing.
Yeah. So you can see where it would help to be able to use those turbojets to help you get off the ground and get away from the base.
I think, like, how heavy is the Moab? It's like 20,000 or something, isn't it? I don't know. The one where they push it out the back of a C-130, the mother of all bombs, the Moab.
Yeah.
I think it's like 20,000 pounds or something like that.
And by the way, this Hound Dog missile was atomic bomb capable, and it had a supposedly I was trying to look at it. I couldn't find the exact designation, but it's a W-28, it said. But anyway, it was anywhere from 7 kilotons, 7,000 tons of TNT, equivalent, to 1.2 megaton.
Woo.
And they could apparently adjust it without changing, the warheads. It was kind of a warhead that was adjustable in the yield.
Okay.
And that is huge. It could be a smaller nuclear device, or it could be really huge, 1.2 megatons. Like
that's going to take out a lot of stuff.
That take out, it's like multiple Hiroshimas. So anyway,
that's the thing.
Powerful.
I think people don't realize is the bombs that we dropped on Japan to end World War II. In the worlds of nuclear and that area we're talking about, those are
little baby bombs.
Those are like M&Ms compared to the technology today. And even the technology we're talking about a decade later in the 60s is night and day different. You know, they made major advancements in that technology after the first initial dropping there and everything else. It was it's almost rudimentary. Not that studying atomic energy is rudimentary in every way, shape, or form, but what they were doing in Alamogordo, Los Alamos here, and drop those bombs. They're child's play compared to the stuff they're doing with today as capabilities and it's fire and forget, and you see the evolution right here in Roswell, and with the Walker Aviation Museum and the Atlas, and the Minutemen and the various evolutions of the ballistic missiles, things like that. So
the final thing on the Hound Dog was full operational capability started in around August 1963, and then it lasted and was removed after around June 30th, 1975.
Okay. So it had quite a big service run.
Yeah. Just again, like I mentioned last month, a good book I'd recommend is Countdown 1945 by Chris Wallace.
Okay.
Published in 2020. But it's starts out X number of days and counting down to dropping Hiroshima's bomb on Hiroshima. But it's very interesting, very easy to read. But it's a little paperback. But Countdown 1945 by Chris Wallace. And it's the #1 bestseller for a while.
Okay, that's worth a check out. I love that. I love, I like history, but I like peeling back the curtain.
Because after that book's all over with, the planes that dropped that bomb returned to Walker.
Sure.
Air Force. And before that, of course, during World War II, we were training 13,000 bombardiers and advanced pilot training here. So it was kind of a training base to begin with, and then it became a strategic bombing base.
Yeah, that's it. Again, learn more about the history of basically this area's role during World War II and leading up to it, and Walker Aviation Museum and the Air Force Base played an integral role in that, and you get to learn that through the museum. And that's what, so, come check it out. Come today or come this week if you got some time. Come visit. Definitely need to check out the website, wafbmuseum.org. Read up more on, the mission of the Walker Aviation Museum as far as the STEM and history. See stuff available, and then getting more involved too. All at the website there. And
I didn't mention, but shame on me, but earlier. But again, we have to thank for keeping our doors open.
Oh, yes.
Pioneer Bank, Featherstone Development Corporation, Glenn Furniture, Six Bomb Wing Reunion Group sent us some money. David Petroleum, Gerald Murray sent us a few pennies. No, he sent us a nice check. So
he's a huge supporter of the museum.
Great supporter.
Both with his time and with his finances.
In past years, and probably in the future, Roswell Toyota, XL Energy, and Dr. Phil Cathy, Paul Engstrom, Lloyd Hughes, Aerosale was a big supporter. So, we're in contact with them, and we're sure they'll be back in helping us out. Steve Griffin donated, and we have a bunch of professional weather equipment that he spent a career doing in the military. And then Steve Griffin, Jim Williams, and Bob Donnell put up a whole pegboards on our reinforced concrete wall so we can move pictures around real quickly and stuff. So,
nice. Yeah. So if you need to change exhibits or do things,
correct. Yeah.
You don't feel like breaking your back doing it. Technology is your friend.
That's right. Do that.
And of course, like we said earlier, always looking for people to get involved. If you love the history and love, if you're that type that love to catalog and organize and stuff, there's a lot of things that, donations and things and archiving and all that. You'd be a great asset there. And of course, if you'd like to serve as a docent, or if you'd
Speaking of archiving, we had a lady who wanted some of her stuff back to send to another museum that opened up, and it was we got it temporarily.
Oh, okay.
So we kind of realized that we need to keep better track of it. So I was out in the storage site yesterday digging around in some boxes and found 3 or 4 more things so we have, most all the things that she sent us that we can send back to her to, I think, another museum that's opened up in Georgia where she lives. So.
Oh, cool.
So anyway,
good deal.
Yeah, but anyway, that's
very cool.
A lot of interesting things coming back and forth.
Absolutely. So wafbmuseum.org. Also, Walker Aviation Museum has a Facebook page as well. I encourage you to like and follow that. And Juliana's always posting pictures and things up there. I'm assuming it's her.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she's our Energizer Bunny. And
posting pictures and everything that are going on. So
good job.
Well, thank you, sir. As
Thank
always,
you.
appreciate the visit. We'll see you here next month. And I know you got a busy day today. Just, one at a time. Take it slow.
Okay, yeah.
I'm sure you could get enough free cups of coffee to get you through today.
Probably, yeah.
I mean, I imagine there's a whole slew of people that owe you at least a cup of coffee.
I do have a list. Okay, thanks.
Thanks, Robert. We'll see you next time.
Take care.
It is 7:53. We're going to pause for local news. Kim Commando, quick commercial break as well. Don't go away.
Now for a Pecos Valley news update, I'm Jared Cirillo. We begin today in Roswell, where an 11-year-old student is in big trouble after allegedly pouring bleach into a teacher's coffee cup. The incident took place on February 28th at Washington Elementary School, according to police. KRQE television reports other students had warned the teacher before she could take a sip of the coffee. The names of the teacher involved nor the student are being released, and the school district is not commenting. Also in Roswell, Police Chief Phil Smith is announcing his departure. In a letter posted to the police department's Facebook page, Chief Smith said the past 11 years have been without a doubt the most satisfying of his 39-year law enforcement career. Smith is credited with raising police officer salaries, modernizing technology within the department, and upgrading the fleet and facilities. Smith did not say why he's leaving or if he's accepted a new position elsewhere, only saying his final day would be March 31st. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo reporting.
Finally, this week, the U.S. Senate will introduce a bill to ban TikTok and any new or existing foreign-owned technology that poses a national security threat to America. I'm Kim Commando, brought to you by T-Mobile. Their advanced network now goes farther than ever before. Visit T-Mobile.com/55 today. If you use TikTok, you're carrying around your very own Chinese spy balloon. It collects all your texts, email, photos, and your travels. So why would China spy on you personally? They don't. They're spying on us collectively. Gather enough data on everyone, and there's bound to be useful data for an enemy. And make no mistake, China is our enemy. And here's how this will go down. Gen Z, TikTok's top users, will scream about censorship. The Hollywood elite, the news media, activists, and race baiters will scream racism against the Chinese. Now, don't fall for it. America's enemy will say and do anything to protect its top spying asset. Hey, for great content on the go, get my daily longer podcast. It's called Kim Commando Today. Innovative businesses see every day as an opportunity to create something new. Dell Technologies Advisors are here with tools and expertise to help you do incredible things. Because Dell Technologies believes there's an innovator in all of us. Learn more about smart PCs powered by the Intel vPro platform that's built for business. Find tech that's right for you by calling a Dell Technologies Advisor today at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
Tim, we need to talk. I just can't get over that rate increase from Verizon and AT&T last year.
We'll switch to T-Mobile and get their price lock guarantee. They won't raise our rates for talk, text, and data ever.
Oh, we're switching today.
Switch to T-Mobile and get 4 lines for $25 a line with our price lock guarantee. We won't raise the price of your rate plan for talk, text, and data ever.
4 lines for $25 per line with autopay, plus taxes and fees. $5 more per month without autopay. Price lock for qualifying services excludes taxes, fees, select promos, and third-party services. See T-Mobile.com for details.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. Let's talk some Goddard Rockets baseball, shall we? The Rockets got their season started with a road trip to Los Lunas on Saturday against Valencia High School. Goddard won the first game 18-5. Cinco Holloway, a junior for the Rockets, 3 for 4 with a double and a home run, 5 RBIs. Ross Stokes, also a junior, 3 for 4 with a twin bagger, also a double, and 4 RBIs. Kobe Eldridge, 3 for 5 with a double and a triple. In the second game, Valencia won that one 8-7 in 8 innings. The hot hitting continued, though, for the Rockets. Holloway with 2 doubles. Stokes 4 for for 5 with a triple and 3 RBIs. Matthew Campos, a junior, 4 for 5 with a double. Next up for Goddard, their own Goddard Southwest Classic on Friday. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. The Federal Aviation Administration said on Monday it temporarily paused flights to and from parts of South Florida due to a radar issue for about an hour, and many flights were impacted. The issue affected the FAA's Miami and Jacksonville Air Route Traffic Control Centers. Flight tracking website FlightAware said more than 2,800 U.S. flights were delayed nationwide on Monday, and 90 were canceled. Union challenger Shawn Fain is narrowly leading United Auto Workers President Ray Curry in a runoff election, but the race is too close to call. Fain received 69,118 votes, and Curry has 68,473. SiriusXM Holdings Incorporated on Monday said it would lay off 8% of its workforce, or about 475 employees, as the satellite radio firm takes a hit from slow subscriber growth. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
Need new windows for your home? Beware of the sales gangster. Jennifer from Trustmark Roofing and Windows here. A sales gangster is a window salesperson with the mobster mentality. They intimidate, bully, and fast talk you into buying their less than quality windows during a 3-hour pitch. Think I'm kidding? Call a few window companies and see for yourself. Or you can skip the sales gangsters and call Trustmark. We have fair, no-nonsense pricing on our premium windows, and our appointments take only about 60 to 75 minutes. Just long enough to listen to what you need, show you your options, answer your questions, and give you a straightforward quote. Then it's up to you. We can take a no just as easy as a yes, but I'll guarantee you this: no sales gangsters. Sound fair? Call Trustmark Roofing and Windows for your no-obligation spring window assessment. 575-755-7663 or visit TrustmarkRoofPros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
Roswell's home for talk radio is 106.5 FM, KEND Roswell.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Congress about to hear from Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell.
The Fed is still weighing the merits of more interest rate hikes as the economy remains saddled with stubbornly high inflation. Powell's remarks today before the Banking Committee will be his first public comments, since recent data show the Fed has so far failed to cool off rising inflation despite a string of rate hikes. Lawmakers as well as investors will be looking for any signals as to the size of the next expected rate hike to be announced later this month. Wagner reporting.
President Biden looking to raise Medicare taxes on those earning more than $400,000.
That's the key component of the president's proposal to keep the health care program for seniors funded for 2 more decades. Mr. Biden calls it a modest increase in Medicare contributions for wealthy Americans. According to advanced details of his forthcoming budget, the president also wants to expand Medicare's ability to negotiate lower costs for prescription drugs.
That's White House correspondent Greg Clugston. They were fired on and then kidnapped at gunpoint. 4 Americans abducted just south of the border in Matamoros, Mexico.
The FBI working very closely with other federal partners and Mexican law enforcement agencies to investigate this. I'm sure you saw the FBI put out a reward for their safe return.
The State Department's Ned Price says it's a $50,000 reward. A staff attorney for the Southern Poverty Law Center among those arrested during Sunday night's riot, the future site of a public safety training center in Atlanta. The rioters set fires, threw Molotov cocktails, fireworks, and bricks at police, and vandalized and destroyed construction equipment. Many of the rioters came in from out of state and some from outside the U.S. Wall Street, the Dow down 84 points, and NASDAQ is off 36. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
Police in Argentina have detained a man on suspicion of killing a boy while neighbors wrecked his house amid growing anger over escalating drug-related violence. City of Rosario.
11-year-old Maximo Jerez was killed early Sunday morning when at least one gunman attacked a birthday party. 3 other children were injured. The drug violence that engulfed Rosario received international attention when gunmen threatened soccer superstar Lionel Messi in a written message left after they fired on a supermarket owned by his in-laws. Nobody was injured in the early morning attack. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
A parliamentary delegation from Hungary says it supports Sweden's NATO membership bid after meeting the Speaker of the Swedish Parliament to iron out what Hungary's governing party calls political disputes. Some Hungarian lawmakers have raised doubts about whether to support the NATO membership of Sweden and Finland. Townhall.com. Later in the week, House panels, you hear from the Treasury Department about its refusal to provide potentially incriminating information about the Biden family's business affairs.
Jonathan Davidson, the Assistant Secretary for Legislative Affairs at Treasury, will go before the GOP-led House Oversight Committee to explain why the department has withheld 150 suspicious activity reports, or SIRs, used by banks to flag what they deem as large transactions generated by the Biden family and their associates. The panel's chairman, James Comer of Kentucky, recently stated that the reports, which often contain evidence of potential criminal activity such as money laundering and fraud, are critical to the committee's investigation of the Biden family's business schemes. Edwin Mora, Washington.
Japan's space agency has intentionally destroyed an H-3 rocket moments after launch because the ignition for the second stage had failed. Today's failure a setback for Japan's space program and possibly for its missile detection program. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The traveler said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
The Deuce.
Of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Tuesday. Cloudy Tuesday. But warm.
Yeah.
Kind of nice. It's like I like weather like this. I go outside, it feels like a hug.
Yeah, it feels like, I like that, yeah. It feels like a hug. Whereas yesterday kind of just felt like a kick to the shins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although yesterday, the wind. Yesterday wasn't so bad.
No, the wind was fine. It was more just like unexpectedly hot.
Yeah.
Like one of those things where it's like I can't really roll my window down to get, cool because it just was hard to find a good balance, I
guess that didn't bug me that much. Usually I'm one who's sensitive
to
heat, and I didn't feel that yesterday. So maybe Maybe I'm getting old. That's what it is. I'm going to be that guy. It's 78 in here. I ain't there yet because it's 75 in here and I'm sweating.
Well, you've historically been the guy who keeps things really cold. Like I remember always coming into your house, like when you first moved into the house over on Jaffa. I remember coming into the house and being like, Jiminy Christmas, it is freezing in here. I used to make the joke that you could hang meat at Mike's house.
Yeah, it was on Cedar, but yes.
Oh, yeah, Cedar.
Yes, I like it cold.
Well, I wasn't going to give out your exact address.
Well, I haven't lived there in years.
The Jaffa neighborhood.
I haven't lived there in years, so if you're looking for me, good luck with that.
We're gonna trace it back. We're following the steps, but we're doing it very slowly.
If someone was looking for me, I'm probably sure I'm not that hard to find.
You have talked about noise from the hospital enough.
Right.
Okay, so we know it's one of two locations.
Right. Yeah, I've only talked about a helicopter buzzing my house every... Ooh, they get... In the weekends, boy howdy, they get pretty loud, too. They get... Like there was one... Was it Sunday or... And I was in the John, as one is. And a lot of things happened to me on the
I found a lot of your most organic experiences happen to you on the crapper.
I logged some seat time. What do you want to do?
That's true. You really put the hours in. Yeah, you know what? I admire that.
That's right. Dedicated.
That's right.
But man, it was just like blah, 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 blah. All of a sudden you hear like boom, blah, blah. I'm like, it's like the walls are rattling. All I can think of is the scene from Jurassic Park where the first one, where the lawyer's sitting in the porta potty and the T-Rex. I'm like waiting for that to happen. That's right. But it doesn't. But that's what it kind of, that's the Wayne feeling Knight. I get whenever, I don't think it was Wayne.
Wasn't it?
No, Wayne was he wasn't the lawyer. It was
No, but he was sitting on the toilet when.
No, it was a different dude. It was a lawyer. It was a skinnier lawyer guy.
Was it little? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this guy was the lawyer dude who was very. Maybe he was a very ancillary character. He didn't. Wayne Knight was way more charismatic.
I remember Wayne Knight's character being the one that got eaten while he was sitting on the.
No, Wayne Knight was the guy that he met for lunch, and he's like, "See, no one cares." He's like, "We got Dotson. See, no one cares." No one cares.
Okay. It has been years since I've seen that movie. I'm mixing up my dinosaur deaths.
Yeah. That Wayne Knight was closer to Seinfeld Wayne Knight than any other Wayne Knight characters, I think.
Newman,
which he's by the way alive. There was a Wayne Knight death hoax.
Was there really?
Thing about 2 years ago, and then Wayne Knight had to come on and say, "I'm not dead.
I'm not dead."
Just fat.
That's a bummer, man. Yeah. When you've reached a point in your career when you just have to just step out of obscurity every couple of months to be like, "Hey, I'm not dead, everybody."
That's right. Still here.
Yep.
But yeah. So, what was I talking about? I got completely off topic there.
I don't even remember.
Oh, the toilet. But yeah, it was the helicopter noise and all. That's where that all went with that. So, I was like, what was the point to this story? I often have none.
I just got off on a tangent about Wayne Knight.
Of Wayne Knight?
Oh, is it Wayne Knight? Is it nude? Is it a nude Wayne Knight?
No, it's Owen Wilson.
Just don't Google Wayne Knight fat.
Oh yeah, Thomas sent me this one last night. It's Owen Wilson as Bob Ross.
Wow.
In Paint.
So
this is a spoof, right? They're not really making this movie.
I hope they are. I'm going to Google it right now.
It does have a whole...
I don't even know if he was supposed to be Bob Ross.
April 23.
Oh my God. Are they really making a Bob Ross?
I thought this was a spoof thing. I didn't know this was a real movie.
Hold on.
Well, if that's not Bob Ross, then please.
But like an homage to Bob Ross.
I gotta imagine.
It is a legit movie. In Paint, written and directed by Britt McAdams, Wilson plays a gentle, nature-loving artist named Carl Nargle. Nargle held Vermont's top painting show for nearly 3 decades until another artist steals the spotlight. So it's not Bob Ross, but it is a Bob Ross sound-alike, I guess.
What?
Here's the trailer.
What? What?
It's hard not to feel a little lost as we begin. Just take it all in.
Oh, come on.
When's the last time you heard someone say something that interesting? There's nothing like having the one you hold dearest, nearest, when the world turns cold.
I thought this was a spoof picture.
Thanks for going to a special place with me, Carl Nargle.
Carl Nargle.
I don't know how I feel about this.
I'm so excited.
I am, but I feel cheap. Like I've been cheated on.
Like you've been cheated?
I feel like I've been cheated on.
Well, okay, give it a chance. As someone who is such a Bob Ross purist,
I am.
I feel like, maybe this is like how. So when I was married, I was never allowed to make fake songs or make fun of the songs of Def Leppard. So maybe this is like that for you. You just like you don't want your thing to be altered.
I want to know what the Bob Ross family, not the evil lady, but Bob Ross' kid and that other guy.
Can I venture a guess?
If they give it a green light, then I'm all in.
Can I venture a guess?
Yes.
This is probably their direct product, and they specifically didn't use Bob Ross's name so that they wouldn't get a penny.
Well, then, if that's the case,
that's my theory.
Then
because looking at his portrayal in this movie,
I mean, it's very Bob Ross. I mean, just listen to that little clip.
Voice, the way he's got the afro, the sweater. I mean, it's Bob Ross. it's Carl Nargle, but it's Bob Ross.
Yeah, if that's the case, that this is the anti people that own the rights to him going after them or trying to work around them, then yes,
See, I
I'm
almost
all
feel like
aboard.
even if they would have been like, if they'd have called him like sob sauce or something like that, the family still would have come out. It's like, this is clearly but Carl Nargle is his own individual, independent character. He's OC, original content. So I mean, that's kind of a genius move on
I would have called him Ross Roberts.
Ross Roberts. That's not bad.
But well, maybe. But I'm not gonna lie. When I saw that picture, I thought it was just some kind of mean post. I was like,
because there's a lot of those. Like somebody sent me, and this was going around last week. Somebody sent me Arnold Schwarzenegger as Uncle Rico from Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah, that was funny.
How much you want to bet I could throw a football over that mountain?
I was very.
So those are floating around. So it's not within.
And it comes out in April is what I saw the thing in there.
It's not outside of the realm of possibility for that to be the case. But yeah, this is a legit thing.
All right, I'm going to check it out.
Yeah, I'm
going
curious.
to check it out. I am going to do some more research. I want to know who's behind this and what's the skinny.
Right.
Which I'm sure will come out.
Oh, yeah. It's good to see Owen Wilson still getting work though. Wow. Wow.
I did see him. I watched that Disney Plus. There's one of the Disney Marvel shows that he's the star of.
Really?
And it wasn't bad.
Owen Wilson?
Yes. It's the one where he's like an investigator for, it's one of these alternate universes, and he's like almost like a paper pusher in the alternate universe. It's it's the Noki one. Or what's
Loki?
his name? Loki, not Noki. Loki. He's in Loki.
That one where all the Marvel characters
he's like the main,
use a Nokia phone.
He's like the main character in the Loki series.
Okay.
Besides Loki, of course.
Right.
I mean, yeah, that's what it was. I saw it about a year ago.
So I just Googled it randomly, but it says Owen Wilson. Marvel scolded me multiple times for Loki spoilers. He was dropping heat in the interviews. He's like, well, I can tell you this. Wow.
He wants to be a friend everywhere.
I mean, what can you tell us about the new Loki series?
Yeah.
Well, I can't really get into details, but let me tell you this. Loki's going to...
He's going to mess up the whole time continuum. He's going to go into, and then we're going to fight 12 Lokis.
Let me give you the episode 7 rundown.
Yeah. It's actually kind of funny if you ever seen that one, because now you see different Lokis on different parallel universes,
right?
And there's all different versions of Loki, and they're all like it's kind of like Multiplicity, where there's like the kind of slightly, and so there is some Lokis that aren't all up there.
See,
up at the standard.
I haven't followed the MCU enough to know anything about that, but I'm that makes me genuinely curious. Like apathetic Loki just randomly pops up. That's pretty good.
It's just kind of funny.
Right.
So. That's why I kind of enjoy Owen Wilson. Say what you want. He brought some levity to that series, and that I kind of dug that one of the more obscure ones. That one was a good one. Here in just a few minutes, we'll be joined by the folks from the Chaves County Health Council. We'll have, of course, Joanne Lopez join us, and Nancy Chavarria also joining us, talking about Lifeline phones. So I hope that hasn't changed. If it has, we'll find out in a minute. But and we'll do that. Next hour, I'll play our interview with Jason Burke from American Legion, VFW Post 12184. You're lucky I said 12184. I usually mess that part up. But anyway, so
90210.
Oh, I thought they were showing some weird car. It was kind of something looked different there.
That's the truck.
No, different story. All right, it is 18 minutes after 8 o'clock. Let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Stationary front just off to our northeast, and that'll bring us some cloud cover today and a little bit of light rain possible. Our afternoon highs in the low to mid 70s. For the overnight hours, clouds will hang around. We'll drop into the upper 40s. Looks like another cloudy day on Wednesday with afternoon highs in the upper 70s, and then we get sunshine back on Thursday, mid to upper 70s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently, scroll up here, 58 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 26%. Winds currently calm at the moment. Cloudy today. Expect a high of 74. Winds will be out of the northwest, 5 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, cloudy, then gradually becoming partly cloudy with overnight low of 45 degrees. West winds at 5 miles per hour. Partly cloudy tomorrow. High of 79, so near 80 tomorrow with northwest winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, mostly cloudy, overnight low of 43 degrees, southwest winds 5 to 15. Thursday, mostly sunny and 78, northwest winds at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Friday, sunny and 74, and the weekend warming up nicely too. Mostly sunny and 84 on Saturday, sunny and 77 on Sunday, and even Monday in the 70s. So very spring-like this week here in southeast New Mexico. All right, it is 19 minutes after 8. We're going to take a 3-minute break, and then we'll have the folks from the Chaves County Health Council join us here on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Attention high school students. Would you like more information on the safest university in New Mexico? Then RSVP today to our Eastern New Mexico University Open House Preview Day, Saturday, March 25th. At ENMU Open House, you'll have a chance to win great scholarships and prizes. Get more information about admissions, meet with the ENMU faculty, find out more about potential majors, and get a specialized campus tour. Sign up today at enmu.edu/open house. Eastern New Mexico University. Student success. That's what we're about.
Get lucky all month long at Roswell Nissan. With a lot stocked with great new and pre-owned vehicles, and with zero down on nearly every vehicle, you'll save a pot of gold. Like a 2016 Ford F-350, zero down, just $439 a month. Or a 2021 Nissan Versa, zero down, just $221 a month. How about a 2014 Toyota Camry, zero down and only $189 a month? And if that's not enough, does no payments for 90 days sweeten the pot? Come save a little extra green during the Luck of the Irish sales event at Roswell Nissan, 2111 West 2nd.
Martine's Capital Cafe in Roswell offers authentic and highly rated New Mexico food. Explore their amazing menu featuring huevos rancheros or asado with eggs or their green chili stew. And you can't forget their award-winning green chili cheeseburger, all made from scratch using their finest and freshest ingredients. Open for carryout with curbside delivery or limited dine-in. Just call ahead 624-2111. Martine's Capital Cafe, always pleasing the most refined palate. Open Monday through Saturday from 6 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. at 110 West 4th in Roswell.
It takes a long time to develop trust. At LaGrone Funeral Chapel, they've been earning your trust for decades. They understand how important it is to friends and family to celebrate a life in the way you choose. The professionals at LaGrone will ease your stress and anxieties. They'll provide the guidance you need to select a service that's appropriate. And that's what they've been doing for generations, earning your trust and doing the right thing. LaGrone Funeral Chapel and Crematory, 900 South Main in Roswell. Online at LaGroneFuneralChapels.com.
Life can be full of risks. One thing you shouldn't take a risk with ever is your family's health insurance. If you're self-employed or you now need affordable health insurance, you need to make this free call right now and see how the Health Insurance Helpline can help you get it. We specialize in helping the self-employed and people just like you that need affordable health insurance to get it. We have short and long-term health insurance plans, and some even cover dental, vision, and prescription drugs. Don't take a risk with your family's health insurance. It's not worth it. If you're self-employed or now need affordable health insurance, call right now and learn for free how to get it. Listen, affordable health insurance plans for everyone just like you are a free phone call away. So give us a shout right now.
800-503-3735. 800-503-3735. 800-503-3735. That's 800-503-3735.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Slugs have 4 noses, but no fingers to pick them. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 23 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from the Chaves County Health Council, of course, Joanne Lopez back with us as well. Your newest
Emily Gonzalez.
Part of the Chaves County Health Council, Emily Gonzalez with us as well, and Nancy Chavarria, too. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning. Good morning.
How's everybody doing today?
Excellent.
Good. Brighton, weather's nice. At least it's
gorgeous
not,
up there.
At least not windy, and at least not cold. So I guess we'll call that a win. So.
It's absolutely beautiful.
For folks that are not familiar with the Chaves County Health Council, they are a group of volunteers that they really their main goal is to just put people in connected with healthcare opportunities, making them aware of what's available to them, services, providers, things like that, and at the same time offering healthcare providers and medical staff opportunities for other information, education. Time to time, they'll bring in expert speakers for our healthcare workers to come and listen to. All that's under the scope. 211, if you're familiar with that, that is the official, 911. That's your emergency line. Is 411 still a thing? I don't even know.
I don't know if it is here.
That used to be information if you wanted people's information.
Back in my day.
Then there's 211, which is for folks here in Chaves County. They can call it really any time,
Yeah.
but they appreciate if you do it during business hours. But someone will answer at any time. And if you have questions, anything from hey, I'm new to town, I need a doctor, to I don't have any health care, how do I get on health care? To
even a phone number. I got calls for just a phone
do you
number.
guys have a specialist for? Is there a specialist in town that deals with gastric bypass stuff or whatever?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's your resource for all of that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
So, and is there anything I missed there in the description, or is there a few more things I should add to that?
That's pretty much it. Just call it. We connect you with the resources we have. Now, don't expect to every single time, be connected, because we may not have that type of resource.
Sure, it's all volunteers.
Yes.
It's all, but if you're looking for information, if you're looking for
We'll get you some.
to try to get connected with someone to get you
Absolutely.
some help, the Health Council and through 211 they will do. And if they can't get you the answer direct, then they're going to work on finding the people that can get you that answer. So that's kind of what the scope of the Health Council is. And of course you join us here each month, and we sometimes we talk about things that are direct things or direct programs directly through the Health Council. Others are, partnerships when things like we've, talked about Chaves County 100. We talked about various different things here. And so today we're talking about these the Lifeline phones and all of that stuff. So I guess I know what Lifeline is, and I know what phone. I don't know how these how are they together?
So what it is basically, it's a government program. It's a federally funded government program that we issue phones to anybody that's 18 and older.
Okay.
That receive Medicaid, SNAP, TANF, Medicare, Social Security, low income, or on HUD housing.
Okay, so anybody that's on these are programs already that obviously anybody going out and bought a phone, even the cheap ones are hundreds of dollars. And I know there's things of it, but and phones, let's face it.
Yes.
We live in a world where less and less people have landlines, things like that. Yes. Cell phones are the way to go. Yes. So that's the primary way we communicate, we get a hold. Right. So cell phone's not really a luxury anymore. It's kind of it's pardon the pun, a lifeline if you need emergencies or things like that.
Right.
So it sounds like a great idea.
Yeah, and they're free smartphones. Activation's free.
Okay.
The device is free. The services are free.
Okay.
So they get unlimited talk, unlimited text, they get internet and for a whole year.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So, and after the year, they can always renew online or with an agent like myself.
Okay.
For another year, and it just as long as they keep getting the benefits, they keep
As long as they're in good standing
Yes.
with their benefits, then this program will continue. The moment, which hopefully they get to a point where they're able to get out of these. That's the whole point, is to give you time to kind of establish your own foundation, get your income lined up and things, and so for some folks, if it's this gives them that time to do that, and maybe they got a phone in place, and after that year, maybe they're ready to take it and go get their own plan or something like that.
Right.
But
and
you're getting them started.
A lot of people can't afford it. There's a lot of seniors, a lot of they're on fixed incomes, and and
the cost of medicine, especially I know you see insulin in the news all the time, and there's a lot of Americans that are dependent on insulin, and if they're popping, I don't know, what are they charging, $300, $200, whatever craziness they're charging some of these folks for that, then they're making the decision: do I need my insulin or do I need my phone? Do I need my insulin or do I need dinner? And that's what you're trying to avoid, is to say, look, have a phone. We'll worry about your insulin. We'll make sure you got a phone to you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
it's
for
like
emergency calls
focus on getting the meds you need to, because we know that can be a gauntlet and everything else too.
Correct.
So it's a great idea, because it's really hopefully they've got enough things stacked on the deck here that they're trying to good. It's like line up here, it's like, oh, I need money. Well, get in line. And so this at least is say, okay, we can get a hold of you. There's a plan. It's not cut off. It's something. So if you need to get a hold of your healthcare professionals, your family, or anybody, that's not going to be a problem here.
Right.
And that's what I like about
Yes.
it. So
And
good
then
deal.
We also have the tablets. We just got those in, and the tablets, a lot of, I guess, what do you call it? Like, children want them for their adults, so they can Zoom talk or
Teledoc. A lot of that's
Right.
been good to get done, like kind of like your Zoom meetings and things.
Yeah. Right.
Almost all of your healthcare providers now have some version of that
And now with
available in the
COVID,
system.
now with COVID, they can get in, see their loved ones,
Absolutely.
And that, that's a really good deal too,
Sure.
because it's, free for a whole year as well. There's only
Sure.
a one-time activation fee, but that's
On the tablet, not the
on
phone.
the tablet, yes.
Sure.
The phone, there's no activation. The phone's completely free.
Gotcha.
Now, can a family get both of them?
One person can only get, one. And
So
it's
in
one
theory,
per
if-
household.
Household, okay.
Yes,
so
one per household.
Those that, well, if you're divorced, then you can. I was going to say, well, not one spouse can get the phone, but
Right.
you'd have to get divorced and live in separate houses.
Yes.
Which,
It would be one per
if you're
household.
willing to, no, I'm just kidding.
Same here.
You're like, that's not a bad idea. I can watch whatever I want on TV. Yeah.
Just sign this paper.
No, that's a bit extreme, but
Well,
you do you.
Oh, no.
But yeah, it's a great idea, and let's face it, when we talk about with the tablet, you probably have a lot of seniors, that are on Medicaid and things that, going to the doctor is a lot of effort and energy and work, and sometimes more. It's like you're wearing them out more. You know what I mean? Like it's harder.
Yes.
So with the teledoc and that in place. And really, the doctor just needs to have a conversation with them. They don't need to examine them per se. The teledoc makes great, because now you don't have to get dressed and go through a whole logistics of you getting ready to go somewhere.
Right.
And now, see, there's the tablet right there, which is, it looks just like your iPads or Androids or whatever out there. And yeah, they can. Now you're going to need probably a grandkid. or someone younger that can translate how to work this thing.
Right.
But they're your atypical smartphones, and so they're not like how sometimes you get like a little phone. These are fashionable. They're very cool. So and these are the official tablets.
Right.
So, but my point is a lot of times, a lot of seniors particularly have these doctor appointments that at the end of the day, they just need to talk to them.
Right.
They don't really need to examine or put them up on the table and do all that. So these could mitigate that, where they don't have to go and get ready and do, it takes the effort of getting out to go out.
The Medicaid has the telehealth.
Yeah,
deal,
exactly. So,
everybody on Medicaid
so those
will use that.
will give these seniors and anyone else that
Anyone
applies
else,
in these
yes.
other circumstances the tools to do all that. Which we talk about, so like HUD, these things where you got
Yes.
folks like that. These kids probably could use some of that for their schoolwork
Yes.
and things
Yes.
like that too.
Yes.
So I know technically it's for medical stuff and things like that, but now they've got the ability to do any of that kind of stuff.
Now, is it restricted to only use it for one certain thing, or can they use it as...
No. They can use it for whatever they, for whatever they want.
Sure.
They can download whatever they want on it. It's their device.
Sure. It would be
so-
really hard to accurately
Yeah.
get it. I mean, you could put some things on it,
Sort of
but
monitor, but-
at the end of the day, the juice
Yeah.
wouldn't be worth the squeeze there.
Right,
You just say,
right.
hey, here,
Well, and I've worked with a lot of probation officers and stuff because their clients don't have,
Exactly.
something to check in with, or so they
Yeah.
get a free phone.
You bet. You bet.
does the tablets have a data plan on them already, or do they they just look
They
at,
do have a data plan.
good deal? So you
Yes.
can, in theory, use them
Yeah.
as long as you got data.
Right.
You
So
got
25
bars.
gigs.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So you don't even have to worry about
No.
finding a Wi-Fi or hanging out Starbucks
Right.
or something
No.
to get it to work. So
They
you
do
can,
have a data. They do have data. They do.
awesome,
Yeah.
very
Really,
good,
really neat.
excellent. So in theory, it's like another phone in of itself. You can make a phone call on it. It's a little trickier because you have a phone number assigned to it.
Right.
Like my iPad has one. I have no idea what it is. I've never called it. I've never tried to call on it, but allegedly there is one.
Yeah, there's a
Well, they just download an app.
Yeah.
And the
Then
phone,
it's a phone.
yeah,
I'll
yeah.
be damned.
Okay, so it's not even like it's a
Well, that's
it's an
neat.
internet thing. I'm
Right.
guessing. Yeah. Okay.
Nice.
I am a little long-haired and old, and so.
I know, I was going to say,
Oh, it's one of them the internet things. Yeah.
Wow.
That's on the internet now? Oh, man.
I know you get these kids nowadays, and they're in it. They're born wired this way. I
And
think.
then we talk, and we put the word "the" in front of everything we don't know what it's talking about. You been on the Facebook? What? The Twitter, the TikTok.
Was it their song Twitter something?
Yeah. But now, how does one apply? Is it so if you're already on Medicaid? Is there? Can you just see the people that you talk to for that to
Right.
get on the program
Right.
or?
Right. So for the phone, I would have to have the person in person.
Okay.
Because and all I require is a valid ID.
Okay.
Or driver's license and the last four of their social.
Okay.
And we can get them. It's really easy. It takes about maybe 10 minutes.
Okay.
5. If the system's acting properly.
Okay. So it'd be like if you want to do it in person, you just go like the New Mexico Department of Health office.
No,
or?
I have an office here. It's 1210 North Main Street.
Okay.
Suite 100.
Okay.
So I do have an office here in town.
Okay, sweet.
Or they can always call me at 575-578-8402.
And if you don't remember that, call 211 and they'll
Yes.
get you
Yes,
that
yes.
information.
211 has my information.
I'll give you the number and the address, everything you need.
Very cool. But yeah, if this sounds like something that you could take advantage of or sounds like a good opportunity for your family, please reach out. This is the thing I love. If the program's available, take advantage of it. It's
Absolutely.
here. That's what it's there for.
And it's nationwide, so anybody, that.
So tell your friends. You got
Yes.
friends in New York or North Carolina or Wyoming or Texas. Let them know too.
Yes.
So
Yes.
good deal.
That's a really good deal.
Excellent. And so I guess it's open to anyone that's on these programs and at least 18 years of
18,
age or
yes,
older.
correct.
here.
Valid ID.
Yes.
Sure,
Mhm.
but
Yes.
and if you're not on one of these programs, maybe that's where you start and you say, okay, I'm having issues. Maybe there is a program that can help me with my healthcare needs, or regardless of if you're 20 and on your own or
Right.
57 and been there's probably something out there for you.
Well, not even that. If they're not on any of the programs and they're 18 and older, they have their income is less than 18,000. They have a W-2, that shows that they make less than 18,000 a year.
Okay.
We can qualify them like that too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So a lot of people are, well, I don't get food stamps. I don't get Medicaid, but I am low income. My income's
Sure.
it's not.
It
18,000
meets
or
the
more.
it actually meets the parameters of
Yeah,
qualifying
right.
for aid here.
Right. Yes. So they qualify as well.
Sure. Now, get it. Like any any government program or anything like that, there's generally a gauntlet of time and, getting on phones and things. So, yeah, you're probably going to have, because anything at the state level like that is just like that. It doesn't matter if it's New Mexico or New Jersey. It's just like that.
Yes.
And so you're going to have to be prepared to spend time waiting and getting, but once you get through that, and then you can kind of talk to you about this phone, and then of course you can kind of feed them into those programs and everything else. But my ask is when you are talking to Nancy here or anybody that's helping you with this, please understand it is a government process they're going through, and nothing moves fast in government. It's it's glacial. That's how they will operate. They'd rather get it. You're going to laugh at this. They'd rather get it right than get it fast. Allegedly. Doesn't mean they get it right or they get it fast, but that's the intention.
Now, Nancy, you have phones, tablets in stock? Like if you meet with them, they get it right there?
Oh, yes.
Oh, you got them all right there, too,
Yes.
so they don't have to wait for them to show up in the mail?
No, they get them on site. Once they apply,
nice.
Once they apply, they go through the process. I enroll them. About 3 minutes, I get an answer back. They're qualified. I start activating the phone for them.
Wow.
And they get a phone right there on site.
Nice.
Nice. That is nice.
Good deal.
Yeah.
They might have to go charge it up and plug it in and charge it up depending on how long it's been sitting on the shelf there. But,
Right, yeah. And, and most of them do have, but
usually they got about 50 to 70%
Right.
enough to get you a couple things.
Yeah, something like that.
Wet your beat a little bit, then you got to go plug it in.
There you go. Yeah.
That is really neat. Now, does it have a type of number, say an elderly person has it, they fall down? Is there one number they can punch to get to?
I think a lot of the
get help or something
smartphones
like
have like a
They have
quick
an emergency call.
They do have
whether
an
it's an
emergency
Apple
call,
or an
okay.
Android or whatever product.
I've never used it.
They generally have an emergency one button push or it depends on the carrier or the who made the phone. Usually it's
I need to check mine. I've never used it. So
I think Samsung and Apple and
probably all of them.
The Nokia and all the others have a version of it on their phone.
Yeah,
somewhere.
because if they have locks on them, they don't have time to do the lock thing.
Yeah.
So they just press that one emergency button. They have an emergency button, and it sends them straight to get them some help. Yep.
I don't know why they did this, but it's a phone thing. But I have an Apple iPhone. When you look at it, it gives you two default buttons to activate without you having to. One's a flashlight, and one's the camera. Kind of tells you our priorities in life, doesn't it?
The flashlights to give you enough light to see yourself.
So you can take a selfie, right?
I'm going to have to go experiment with my phone now.
Just saying. I'm just making an observation. Y'all put your 2 cents to that.
If you're being attacked, you can take a picture of your attacker.
Wow.
Just saying. Maybe 911 should be one of those buttons. Just saying.
That is so crazy.
But anyway, please, now, like we said, you need to qualify for one of these programs. You must be at least 18 years of age. But if you're not on one of these programs, please reach out. Nancy can get you through the process to get to at least get set up and get in the queue, so to speak, to get set up on these programs and all of that stuff. And then once that's in, then you say, all right, let's talk about getting you a tablet or phone or whatever we can do to help you do. Or maybe there's another program that can even do more, that we can get a little deeper in, depending on your scenario. And every case is different, and to be honest, if you're like, say you're a veteran, or say you're a teacher or a retired teacher, or say, a lot of times there's programs within your experience that they can plug into. And, certainly veterans, if you reach out to Nancy or any with the health council or anything like that, first thing they're going to do is put you in touch with the veterans people and say, all right, I'm sure there's some benefits and things that we can plug in for this person. But even if you weren't, maybe you're a cop, maybe you were a firefighter, and now you've fallen on hard times, or maybe you're a teacher that is no longer a teacher, retired teacher. A lot of times there's, even though we don't know about the traditional government programs, sometimes there's caveats in there that we can dig and do some helping and saying, you know what? Okay, we ran into a brick wall here. let's try this avenue and see if we get some success.
Absolutely.
And Nancy and the Health Council, this is the kind of stuff they do for people. So
Yes.
they have a few more doors that they know about that maybe you don't know
Absolutely.
about.
And for all the Chaves County organizations, if you are a resource that I could refer 211, please call 211 and let's be sure I have your information,
Sure.
that it's updated, and that way I can connect people with you.
Absolutely, yeah. If you're a healthcare provider or healthcare adjacent company or anything
human
that's
services.
involved in healthcare,
You know,
that,
I mean, I get calls for the recreation center. You know, I need to register my kid. I don't know where to go.
Yeah.
Just anything. If we can help you, we want to help.
there
you.
is a slight 401 to your 211. So if people are like, "Hey,
Right, it is. It really is.
is the volleyball signups already happening?" And it's like, well, let's find out. I don't know.
This
you know?
last month, I think I don't. The majority of my calls were like, "I need this number." You know,
Yeah,
like, oh, no
exactly.
problem.
Hey, what's the number to Domino's?
Let me Google it for you.
I'll give you a number to Salad Bar City. How about that?
That is so funny.
but please reach out 211. It's available to you as a resource if you're new to town, if you're just having questions regarding healthcare, anything. Where to find it? I'm having trouble locating it. I need help. I have no healthcare. I need some. Any of these, call 211, and there's people that are ready to put you whatever direction you need to go as far as getting your information.
Absolutely.
And please reach out to Nancy here. Give out that address one more time for your location, your office.
My location.
Here.
So we're located at 1210 North Main, Suite 100.
Okay.
Mhm.
Is there like a Facebook or something that people can read up on, or a website if someone wants to learn a little bit more about the program?
There is, but so I'm with SafeLink.
Okay.
And if they apply online, they're going to get a SIMS card.
Oh, okay. I gotcha.
So half the time they'll send them a SIMS card.
So you want to talk to you in person, and that
Right,
way,
so they
unless
can
you
get the
don't
actual
mind
device.
tearing apart a phone and putting in a SIM card and doing all that
yes,
stuff.
yes.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. But if you want to just read up on what the program is, you can probably do some search on Lifeline phones, things
Yes,
like that,
yes.
and it kind of give you the concept and what, maybe some of the ins and outs of the program.
Right.
And then when you're ready, come by and see Nancy.
Yes.
And she'll set you up.
Yep.
So, and if you
it
don't
takes
remember,
about 10 minutes.
yeah, and if you don't remember how to get a hold of her, 211, and
Yep.
and
We'll
then they'll
hook
they'll
you
put
up.
you in touch with
Yes,
Nancy too.
they will.
Good
Absolutely.
deal. So how long, Elizabeth, have you been officially part of the
Emily.
or Emily, I'm sorry. They got to talking, and I got you right.
You
Sorry, Emily. Sorry, Emily. How long have you been involved with the Health Council now? Which 1 month, 2 months, 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 days, 5 days?
I think this is 3 weeks now.
3 weeks now.
Yeah.
So what's your background? Just curious. Do you have a healthcare or social work background? What is it that drew you to be a part of the Health Council?
I actually don't have a healthcare background.
Okay.
I just saw the job posted and I'm interested in helping the community, so I applied.
Okay. So you got an interest in serving people and things.
Yeah,
So that's the reason why you got here. Very cool.
And with this new grant that we got, we are partnering with UNM, and Emily is the community health worker for Roswell.
Okay.
She's our full-time community health worker.
Okay. So a lot of times, if people come and have an issue or need some, they're going to talk to you, and you'll put them where they need to
What
be.
she's going to be focusing on is behavioral health, bringing awareness to the community about behavioral health and the resources. And this will include the 988 crisis line. We're going to really
Excellent.
do a big punch on that.
Okay, yeah, that's for those that aren't aware, that's the statewide hotline that came out about a year ago, maybe.
It's been quite.
Has it been longer than that?
No, I don't think it's been longer.
All right, well, anyway, it's
I don't
been
know.
out a little bit now, and it's the number you call 24/7 if you're dealing with mental health
You can
issues.
call, chat, or text.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And there will be someone on the other line to talk with you,
Absolutely.
and again, it's kind of like if you ever call the domestic violence, it's all anonymous. It's all you're in charge of the conversation. Whatever consequences or actions that happen from that conversation, you're the one in the driver's seat. You're the one. If you're ready to commit to something big, they're going to help you through that. If you just want to be an ear to bend for a half hour, they'll be that for you too.
Absolutely.
And so keep that number handy, the 988 number.
Absolutely.
But definitely, 211 is that source for everything. And by the way, you guys are always looking for more volunteers to serve on the
You
Travis
betcha.
County Health
and
Council.
organizations out there in Travis County, be ready because we're ready to start meeting for the Health Expo.
Oh, that's right. You'll
for
be
the
gearing
2023
up.
Health
That's-
Expo. It's the first Saturday in August, and I believe our next meeting is next Monday.
Okay. I was trying to say, you have a monthly meeting. I just don't remember the
yes.
time and date.
The Travis County Health Council monthly meeting is tomorrow.
Okay.
It's the second Wednesday of every month.
Okay.
We meet at noon. You can go in person at 500 North Main, number 102, or you can get a hold of 211 and I can give you a Zoom link so you
Very
can
good.
Zoom in.
Yeah. So, but if you'd like to come in person or whatever.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'd love to have you. Come on down. And but please get involved. And if you'd like to learn more about serving on that council, like I said, it's just a group of volunteers that care about the community. Like you said, they're the biggest planning and all hands on deck moment is the health fair that happens in August here, because you get the back to school side with all the shots and back to school supplies and all
great
that.
turnout last year. Great turnout.
And then they get big screenings from mammograms to the. Sometimes in years past they've had the big colon hallway.
Oh, it was
You
there
walk
last year too. Yeah.
Take a stroll in the colon. You can walk through. Hey, everybody, I'm hanging out in the colon. Yeah, you can do that.
It's funny.
But a lot of, like, they were doing all kinds of, lab work.
Oh,
And,
yes.
So we'll talk more about what's on tap for this year's as we get closer to
The
it. But
planning's starting. We're starting. to plan.
but if you want to get involved with it, or if you're an organization or business that's listening and said, we should be part of the Health Expo and you've never been before, reach out.
Call
211. Call Joanne. She'll be happy to give you that information there, too. Is there a phone number they can call you at, Nancy? Or
Yes,
just
there is.
Okay.
575-840-8204.
And if you have any questions about the Lifeline phones or really getting into any of these healthcare programs and things or any of that kind of stuff, reach out to Nancy. She'll be happy to either help you directly or put you in touch with the people that can help you get what you need to do.
Yes,
here.
sir.
So, is there anything we missed? Anything that we wanted to share that we just spaced out or I got wrong, kept calling her the wrong name, something like that?
You threw me. I was like, Elizabeth.
I don't know. You know what it was? I think I heard him say Elizabeth, and it just got stuck in my head. And then
That's so
that's what happened. So I'm gonna blame Roy. Roy, you're falling on the sword on that one. Even though it's not your fault, I'm blaming you.
How funny. I think we covered everything. I think so.
Good deal. But please reach out. Please check it out and. If you can use some help with this
Hey,
phone
it's
and
free,
thinking,
it's
or
free.
maybe some of our seniors, you got them a phone and they're like, I don't want a phone. They kind of come kicking and screaming, or they give them a phone and it's this brick thing that you're like, it's like, do you have to like just crank it on the side, say, operator, give me a number? What is this thing? And so if you want to give them something that's from, the 2000s, maybe this might be
If they decide, if they already have a Lifeline phone and they decide they want to get a tablet, they can do that.
Okay.
The only thing is that the phone will be limited minutes only.
I got you.
Like 350 minutes.
Got you.
But they can use their tablet.
For data. So basically,
right.
you got to split your data
Right.
between the two devices,
Right.
but we can get you one.
Wow.
So,
Mhm.
very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, because,
That's really helpful, though.
never pay for data. It can be quite expensive depending on who's charging it to you.
Right.
So it's like, hey, we're going to help you out, but we're not going to just give you carte blanche to everything.
Yeah,
It's like, I
yeah.
can't even get that.
Yeah.
But definitely we can help you out with there. So
Yeah, that's
Excellent.
a great program.
It is. Sounds like it. I think, especially for because let's face it, people that are in that scenario, they're trying to figure out how they're going to pay for their meds, probably food, kids. If they got kids involved in the scenario here, if it's seniors, they're on a very fixed income. They've retired, and they keep jacking up the prices on
Absolutely.
everything.
And then being rural,
Yeah.
a lot of our residents can't get
Yeah.
down to the doctor. This phone could help them. The telehealth.
Everybody's
seeing the
grocery
doctor.
budget's probably doubled in the last year,
Oh,
at
my
least.
goodness,
And
I've just
so,
seen the price of
and
eggs.
people were already tight before that, and now they're robbing Peter to pay Paul. So let's find some ways to help these folks.
Absolutely.
So at least they don't have to worry about staying out of touch with emergency services and connecting and
Yes,
things
true.
and all that, and at least can stay plugged into the world.
Yes.
And then they can focus more on making sure their meds are paid for
Yeah.
or whatever's covered's covered. So.
Yeah, and if anybody knows of anybody that needs a phone, I
Yeah.
also help a lot of the homeless.
Absolutely.
I help a lot of, they refer me or they send people to me, from the Salvation Army. I go set up at the Salvation Army.
Nice.
Like right now, after this, I'm going to head to Artesia and then Carlsbad. So, I work with all these organizations directly with them, and their clients, their customers.
Sure.
Their customers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so take advantage of it. Reach out. Again, if you forget Nancy's number, call 211. She'll get you in touch with Nancy, and we'll get the ball rolling for you to get set up, and hopefully pretty quick we can. I imagine if you're already enrolled, in one of the programs, Medicare or whatever, it's probably a pretty quick.
Oh yeah, you qualify immediately.
Yeah, it's pretty quick.
Yeah.
It's if you're not qualified, you need to get qualified.
Right.
Then it's going to take a little time. But if you're already qualified and you need a phone, reach out to Nancy, and she can get you here today or whenever you can get the appointment to get you all together. You'll walk out that day with your phone or tablet. So, yeah.
And what if, for whatever reason, it breaks? Can they replace it?
No, I do not replace them. All I do is enroll and issue a phone the first time.
So be careful with them.
Yeah. Yes.
So they're not insured or anything.
Get you those protectors at Walmart or whatever.
And they work.
They do work.
Totally work.
Trust me. This phone's been launched. It's fallen. It's probably been sat on numerous things, and it's still here.
Yeah.
So.
Those cases they really do work.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, so
They
whenever that happens, they can either disenroll and wait 90 days to re-enroll again, and they can qualify for another one.
Oh.
Or they can buy a track phone and transfer all their services to the track phone.
Okay.
So there's ways, to.
Yeah. Well, and I know we live in a world now where these phones we're all new and fancy, but to be honest, they've never built any of these to last more than 4 or 5 years without them falling apart. That's just because that's how they make their money. But we'll talk about that another day. That's another topic. But that's what we're saying is we realize that this phone was not built to last 30 years.
Yes.
It's going to last about 4 or 5, and then you're going to start noticing it acting a little weird.
Yeah.
And then when that happens, come talk and we'll get it replaced.
Well, when a phone comes out, it goes obsolete in about 2 months.
It's worse than cars, man. It's worse than cars. You know how cars you drive off a lot and that thing's 10 grand cheaper? Yeah, it's the same thing with them phones, man.
How funny.
I was matter of fact, I just got a new iPad just the other day, and my old one, that was $1,000. You know what thing's worth now? That was a coaster.
It's crazy.
The cost of a coaster set. So. Well, thank you, ladies. Appreciate it. We'll let you get to Artesia. I know that trip. I take it every Tuesday myself. Not this week, but I know it. I know the trip.
Yes.
And welcome.
Thank you.
Not Elizabeth, Emily.
We're going to test you next time we're here.
I'll fail gloriously. I'm good at faces. I'm bad at names. I got to butcher your name about 4 times before it finally sinks into my head. I'm just like that. But thank you, guys, and we'll see you next time, okay?
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely. Yes.
It is 8:54. Let's pause for some news and some commercials to pay for my lunch. We'll be back. Don't go away.
Now for a Pecos Valley news update, I'm Jared Cirillo. We begin today in Roswell, where an 11-year-old student is in big trouble after allegedly pouring bleach into a teacher's coffee cup. The incident took place on February 28th at Washington Elementary School, according to police. KRQE television reports other students had warned the teacher before she could take a sip of the coffee. The names of the teacher involved nor the student are being released, and the school district is not commenting. Also in Roswell, Police Chief Phil Smith is announcing his departure. In a letter posted to the police department's Facebook page, Chief Smith said the past 11 years have been without a doubt the most satisfying of his 39-year law enforcement career. Smith is credited with raising police officer salaries, modernizing technology within the department, and upgrading the fleet and facilities. Smith did not say why he's leaving or if he's accepted a new position elsewhere, only saying his final day would be March 31st. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo reporting.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Stationary front just off to our northeast, and that'll bring us some cloud cover today and a little bit of light rain possible. Our afternoon highs in the low to mid 70s. For the overnight hours, clouds will hang around. We'll drop into the upper 40s. Looks like another cloudy day on Wednesday with afternoon highs in the upper 70s, and then we get sunshine back on Thursday, mid to upper 70s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. The Federal Aviation Administration said on Monday it temporarily paused flights to and from parts of South Florida due to a radar issue for about an hour, and many flights were impacted. The issue affected the FAA's Miami and Jacksonville Air Route Traffic Control Centers. Flight tracking website FlightAware said more than 2,800 U.S. flights were delayed nationwide on Monday and 90 were canceled. Union challenger Sean Fain is narrowly leading United Auto Workers President Ray Curry in a runoff election, but the race is too close to call. Fain received 69,118 votes and Curry has 68,473. SiriusXM Holdings Incorporated on Monday said it would lay off 8% of its workforce, or about 475 employees, as the satellite radio firm takes a hit from slow subscriber growth. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
You've heard of a Four Seasons room, but have you heard of a Four Seasons window? Jennifer here from Trustmark Roofing and Windows. It might surprise you to learn many windows are built to handle only the cold or only the heat, but not both. In Southeast New Mexico, one or the other doesn't cut it. That's why Trustmark windows are built to handle our Four Seasons climate, the scorching summers, the bone-chilling winters, and everything in between. Special glass coating blocks extreme UV rays, a stout frame prevents warping from the extreme weather changes, and insulated glass is like putting your home in a giant styrofoam cooler in the winter and keeps cold out and warmth in. And in the summer, it keeps heat out and cool in. For our Four Seasons weather, get Four Seasons windows. Call today for your no-obligation spring window assessment, 575-755-7663, or visit TrustmarkRoofPros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
Your destination for health is closer than you think. You don't have to drive hours for personalized care. You can get high-quality health care right here, close to home, at Artesia General Hospital. From hip, knee, and shoulder replacements to sports injuries, general surgery, pain management, and wound care, our providers will help you get back to doing the things you love right here in Southeast New Mexico. Artesia General Hospital is here for you when you need us. To learn more about some of our key service lines, visit artesiageneral.com/closer.
At Anderson Bethany Funeral Home and Crematorium, we honor and pay tribute to the achievements of your loved one by celebrating the life you shared together. Anderson Bethany Funeral Home and Crematorium is compassionate and cares about our local community and the families we serve here in southeastern New Mexico. Locally owned and operated, we will be here to help you decide how to celebrate the bond you've shared and pay tribute to the unique individual you've lost. Visit us at 2609 South Main in Roswell or call 622-5888.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Sigmund Freud once believed that cocaine could be used to help treat a morphine addiction. Mike used bacon to get over his addiction to beef. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. We're closing in on 9 o'clock. Town Hall News up next. Next hour, we'll also play our interview with Jason Burke from BFW Post 12184. All of that next hour. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. The Fed chair speaks and Wall Street sinks. That story in a moment, but first, 2 of the 4 U.S. citizens abducted in the northern Mexican border city of Matamoros last Friday have been found dead. That's according to a Mexican governor who says one of the other Americans was injured, the 4th apparently not harmed. Seems they got caught up in the crossfire between 2 rival drug cartels. A relative of one of the Americans says they had traveled together from South Carolina, so one of them could get a tummy tuck from a Mexican doctor. State Department's Ned Price notes there is a travel heads-up posted for that part of Mexico.
The travel advisory for Tamaulipas State remains at level 4. Do not travel. We encourage Americans to heed that advice.
Wall Street hitting the skids this morning, reacting to the congressional testimony of Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell. The Fed chief raising the possibility of stepping up the pace of interest rate hikes if the economic data justifies it in order to fight inflation.
Although inflation has been moderating in recent months, the process of getting inflation back down to 2% has a long way to go and is likely to be bumpy.
Powell's appearance before the Senate Banking Committee, his first Capitol Hill testimony in 9 months. A Southern Poverty Law Center staff lawyer is among the 36 people arrested following last Sunday's anti-police riot in Atlanta. Rioters threw firecrackers, Molotov cocktails, and bricks at police, the future site of a public safety training center. Construction equipment was vandalized and burned. Those arrested faced charges of domestic terrorism.
The Rochester, New York police chief says what began as a night of live music and fun ended in tragedy. Chief David Smith referring to Sunday's crowd stampede at a rap concert. The rush to the exits left 2 women dead. The Dow down 294 points. Townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
Another sign of the growing friction between the United States and China.
China's powerful leader, Xi Jinping, rarely mentions other countries by name, and this appears to be the first time he's called out the United States so directly, blaming the U.S. for posing severe challenges to China's development. Mr. Xi's blunt words come as tensions are mounting between Beijing and Washington. Hinging on U.S. fears Beijing will provide weapons to Russia or that it might invade Taiwan. It's important Mr. Xi called out the U.S. when speaking to a business delegation. He's actively trying to boost the economy at home after lifting COVID restrictions.
That's the BBC's Celia Hatton. The influential sister of North Korea's dictator warns that her country is ready to take quick, overwhelming action against the United States and South Korea. The warning comes a day after the U.S. flew a nuclear-capable bomber, a show of strength against the North. Townhall.com. A bipartisan Senate bill would end a decades-old commercial blockade of Cuba.
The Freedom to Export to Cuba Act draws support from Democrats who are tolerant toward Cuba and Republicans Jerry Moran and Roger Marshall of Kansas, who see Cuba as an untapped market for agricultural goods. Senator Moran complains the embargo, quote, blocks our own farmers, ranchers, and manufacturers from selling into a market only 90 miles from our shoreline, while foreign competitors benefit at our expense. The bill is expected to face opposition from Democrat and Republican senators opposed to any leniency toward the Cuban regime. Wagner reporting.
A 51-year-old Texas death row inmate is facing execution this evening. This for the fatal stabbing of his estranged wife and the drowning of her 6-year-old daughter. It happened back in September of 2009 at their home in Dallas. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Trace Inviernos
of Mornings with Mike Winters. right here on 106.5 Roswell Talk FM. Buenos Tuesday, everybody.
Indeed.
Cloudy, warmer.
There's a sickly sweet smell coming through this window. The only way I can describe it is, you know what, like radiator fluid smells like?
Like antifreeze? Kind of,
yeah.
That kind of thing?
Like
they put the sweet...
That kind of like, yeah. That kind of antifreeze smell is what it smells like. It's just it's very off-putting. Pudding?
Don't know. Well, they were swapping out the dumpster in the 7 o'clock hour.
Yeah.
And poor Robert was trying to talk. And that thing, beep, beep. But problem is, it's 80 degrees in here, and I am not...
No, I have
We will deal with the beach.
Yeah.
What I can't deal with is a big, sloppy, sweaty fat man here trying to talk with me.
Yeah, and then Mike, too.
And me. So we're going to have that window open here. But happy Tuesday.
Yeah.
Welcome to it. It is pleasant out.
It is nice.
I'd say if I could figure out a way to move all this stuff outside, sit out there and just be like, do a radio show.
That was always the fun class in like middle school when your teacher was like, let's go have class out in the courtyard.
Yeah. If I could push all this stuff on a cart out there and just sit out there and do it, I'd do it. I can't. But
that was it's funny how the more technology advances and changes and makes things easier and simpler, the more it sort of stays the same.
It does.
Like when we were doing the reading with the kids at Barindo last week, one thing I noticed is that, they had the overhead scanner.
Yeah.
So you could put the book down.
I did use that poorly.
Yeah, I did too, but the problem is I'm also nearsighted, so I kind of dipped my head in and my hat was blocking the picture. But for those who don't know, in the class, they have this overhead camera thing that you can put a book down and it'll show it on the Promethean board on the screen in the front of the class. It's neat, but it's very much like when I was in youth group in high school at Youth Alive. What's it called? I think it was called Youth Alive at no, it wasn't. At Christchurch.
Sure, when Five Alive, the frozen concentrated
Student
drink?
Impact. Student Impact, that's what it was called. Five Alive.
Is that
I
still
was
available?
the guy that ran the overhead projector when we did worship music.
Okay.
So it was my thing. Other people were you want a projector? I'm like, no, it's my thing. I push people out of the way. But it's basically the old school overhead projector. You got the thing with the mirror, the light underneath it, and the thing. It's just, we're in 2023. You can do so many amazing things with technology in general, and we're still leaning on overhead projectors.
Well, it's attached to a nice computer now as opposed to that thing. So it's a different animal. It's an all-in-one tool.
It's not just shadows we're casting.
Yeah,
now,
because
it's
they can
colors.
use it as a whiteboard. Then with the white markers, obviously, not with the. And then they can use it to project any screen, like if they want to show films or if they want to show a computer PowerPoint or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit more than just a projector.
It's neat.
That's just it's a Swiss Army knife now, and that's just one of the tools. That's the fork or the toothpick and the tool of this thing.
And I agree. The Promethean board is and all the projectors and all that. It's sort of it steals an experience from kids because everybody from our generation, remember sitting in the classroom when it's quiet, maybe the teacher's hung over in the back, and off in the distance you just hear squeak, 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 getting closer and closer and closer, and you realize that's the TV cart. We're gonna watch a movie.
Well, I would even argue that maybe you have missed some things too that I remember from my childhood that were very. For one,
I never got to experience a Ditto.
See, I love the Ditto machine. That the smell of a freshly dittoed piece of paper.
Yeah.
And you could tell when the teacher just made the copies too, and you're like, oh, she was just in the other room making these dittos. The other is the film strip.
Right.
Did you deal with a film strip at all?
No, we never.
You were talking about how you were the owner of the
reel-to-reel projector. You mean?
No.
Cool.
The film strip. It was this little projector that had a roll of film that looked kind of like your camera film, and you hooked it up and you wound it through, and then there's usually an audio tape that you combined, and then the thing with tape, it'd be like, and here we talk about the ants of New Zealand.
Right.
The ants of New Zealand grow in New Zealand. Next, and then you hear a dink, and then you'd have to turn the projector to the next slide, and it was then they tell you the story. It was kind of like
the only experience I have with
Viewmaster meets a overhead projector.
Right. The only experience I have with those is that the cinematic trope that every film strip that's ever made will burst into flame at the end of the important thing they need to tell you.
Yes.
Right.
From the makers of microfiche. That's kind of in that same vein. Yeah. But it's kind of like a microfiche for classrooms. There was except for you loaded the strip in it, and then one kid would beg and plead to be the person that gets to turn the thing and all that. But yeah, that was a thing when I was a kid. And then the Ditto machine. Yeah. Now later in high school, they rolled in the TV and all that stuff. But I received media in many different forms of bad technology.
I was also, in that generation that we had the TVs in every classroom, and we watched Channel 1 at the end of the day. I guarantee you don't remember this, but there was every day they would show this 10-minute news channel. It was like just a rundown of news events called Channel 1 News.
Okay.
For a great number of years, I was opted out of watching Channel 1 News because my parents didn't like me getting liberal media.
Oh.
Yeah.
So would you have to go sit in another room when
I
that was on?
I had to leave the classroom. I had to walk outside and just wait while Channel 1 News was playing. It was very awkward. I was like, now I know what Jehovah's Witnesses feel like.
You didn't feel like you're missing out? Like, I wonder what's on Channel 1.
Yeah, I did. I really did, because it was kids doing the news. And I always wanted to, watch Channel 1 News. Eventually, my parents stopped caring, so I got to watch it. But by that point, Channel 1 was sort of phased out.
No one cared about it.
Yeah.
But when you're like,
once my parents stopped caring, everybody else did too.
He's like, all right, kids, let's be cool. I'm ready to watch Channel 1 now. Like, we haven't watched that in years, man.
Yeah, you know what Channel 1 News is?
Oh, man. Well,
internet nerd.
Yeah. So I understand what you're saying, but I think it just depends on the generation, because it's what they went through, and that's the best. I will sit here and tell you, what I went through was not the best. Film strips, there's a reason we don't use them anymore.
Right.
There's a reason we don't use Ditto machines anymore, because there's better things now. Promethean board is one of them.
That's true. That is very true.
All right, it is 9:13. Let's go ahead and get you up to date.
What was it?
13.
Okay, making sure. I was like 30 already?
No, 9:13. I was going a little foreign.
You soften the T's there.
Yeah, kind of that British / Irish thing. Let's do the weather. Now it's 9:14.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Stationary front just off to our northeast, and that'll bring us some cloud cover today and a little bit of light rain possible. Our afternoon highs in the low to mid 70s. For the overnight hours, clouds will hang around. We'll drop into the upper 40s. Looks like another cloudy day on Wednesday with afternoon highs in the upper 70s, and then we get sunshine back on Thursday, mid to upper 70s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 56 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 27%. Winds are currently out of the south at 3 miles per hour. Cloudy today, as it is right now. Expect a high of 74 degrees. Winds will be out of the northwest at 5 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, gradually cloudy, cloudy, then gradually becoming partly cloudy. That's what I meant to say. Overnight low of 45. Southwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. For your Wednesday, we're looking at partly cloudy skies, highs near 80, 79 officially. West winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, mostly cloudy with an overnight low of 43 degrees. Southwest winds 5 to 15. Thursday, mostly sunny, 78 for a high. Northwest winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Friday, sunny and 74. And then for the weekend, looking nice as well. Saturday, mostly sunny and 84. Sunday, mostly sunny and 77. All right, it is 9:15. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we're going to play our interview. We had Jason Burke with VFW Post 12184. He joined me on over the weekend. Had a great conversation talking about their golf tournament and the organization with which it is the VFW Post, but they've got a grassroots PTSD organization that helps people with PTSD. That's kind of their main support for this golf tournament. So we'll play that interview with Jason on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
If you need a Kubota that works and plays hard, stop looking. You'll find everything you need at Amigo Machinery. When it comes to tough Kubota tractors, mowers, construction equipment, and utility vehicles, all with low-rate financing, Amigo Machinery is your one-stop shop. We are passionately committed to providing our customers with the highest quality products, most innovative solutions, and services delivered with integrity and professionalism. Stop by Amigo Machinery in Roswell or see us online at amigo-machinery.com.
Your destination for health is closer than you think. You don't have to drive hours for personalized care. You can get high-quality health care right here, close to home, at Artesia General Hospital. From hip, knee, and shoulder replacements to sports injuries, general surgery, pain management, and wound care, our providers will help you get back to doing the things you love right here in Southeast New Mexico. Artesia General Hospital is here for you when you need us. To learn more about some of our key service lines, visit artesiageneral.com/closer.
Get ready for the most out-of-this-world weekend Roswell has ever seen. UFO Expo 2023, March 10th through the 12th at the Roswell Convention Center. 3 days packed with 40 different events, including 10 different film screens, producers, celebrity personalities, and renowned speakers, and all just a few blocks from the UFO Museum and Research Center. The 3-day pass includes VIP parties, mixer tents, speakers, live music, film festival, cosplay events, and more. Get tickets and more info at ufoxpo.com. UFO Expo 2023, March 10th through the 12th at the Roswell Convention Center.
Need new windows for your home? Beware of the sales gangster. Jennifer from Trustmark Roofing and Windows here. A sales gangster is a window salesperson with the mobster mentality. They intimidate, bully, and fast talk you into buying their less than quality windows during a 3-hour pitch. Think I'm kidding? Call a few window companies and see for yourself. Or you can skip the sales gangsters and call Trustmark. We have fair, no-nonsense pricing on our premium windows, and our appointments take only about 60 to 75 minutes. Just long enough to listen to what you need, show you your options, answer your questions, and give you a straightforward quote. Then it's up to you. We can take a no just as easy as a yes, but I'll guarantee you this: no sales gangsters. Sound fair? Call Trustmark Roofing and Windows for your no-obligation spring window assessment. 575-755-7663 or visit TrustmarkRoofPros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
This country can sure be windy in the springtime, and we all know the best thing about wind is when it stops. Well, your friends at Roswell Ford can't do anything about the wind, but we can sure help you find the right car or truck. Roswell Ford has the biggest selection of nice pre-owned vehicles in southeastern New Mexico, each one carefully inspected and backed with a 3-day money-back guarantee. We also have brand new Fords arriving almost every day, so you'll want to check with us frequently to be sure you don't miss something. And when your vehicle needs service, remember that Roswell Ford offers free pickup and delivery, so you don't have to get out in the wind. Or the Roswell Ford mobile service van can come to you and take care of most routine maintenance at your house or where you work. So whether you're shopping for a new vehicle or taking care of the one you have, you can't do better than Roswell Ford, the tailgate nation, at the corner of 9th and Main. Come see us, but remember to hang on to your hat and don't let that car door get away from you.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The Goodyear Rubber Company researched and concluded that shoes wear out faster on the right foot than on the left. To fix this, just walk backwards for half the day. Here's Mike Winters.
And welcome back to the morning show. And joining us in studio this morning, Jason Burke's back with us with our Roswell VFW post 12184. I think I've got that memorized now. Like I was like 12184. I was like, for some reason I kept thinking there was a 9 in there somewhere, and I don't know why.
So whenever we first chartered, that year I went to a state conference. And I even had to what's my post number? Because they're going to ask who's present from 12184. Yeah. And I had to stand up, salute, say commander plus 1 or commander plus 2 present. And so it's in my head, 124. That's who I am. That's who I am. Okay.
Yeah. It's man, can we have less numbers? But Jason's back with us. First off, good morning. And good morning. How was life at the VFW Post this morning?
It's going good. We're collecting donations and funds for this golf tournament that we have coming up in May.
Coming up here during it's right around is that Armed Forces Day right around that
May 19th and 20th?
I think it's right around that time frame there. But
yes, sir.
This is actually your first annual. We say annual because we hope to have more of these.
Hope to have more. That's the plan. That's what we want. We want this to be our baby.
Yeah, and what I like about this is, I mean, obviously some of this is to help the local VFW post, but most of this is getting funneled towards a charity that you guys have adopted and are trying to kind of grow and get more eyeballs on this charity called Healing Americans Heroes. Kind of talk a little bit about what this. It's because it's a really cool premise and it's real grassroots. It's real. I mean, you hear that name and it sounds like you know the Tunnel to Towers or some of our major they're all great organizations. Don't get me wrong, but this is I'm guessing this is grassroots, but in terms of the work it's done, it's much the same as like Tunnel to Towers or something to help people in need.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Healing America's Heroes was actually started by a Vietnam veteran.
Okay.
They're out in Fort Stanton right now, out in Fort Stanton, New Mexico, along the Billy the Kid Trail.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
it's a cool little place to visit.
It is a cool place. And what they do is they offer therapeutic services to combat veterans and first responders suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder.
Gotcha.
Totally free, 100% free. They do equine therapy.
Okay.
Which is horse riding.
Yeah, which is actually this is kind of in the trend of as we learn more about the medicine of mental health.
Yeah.
This is one of these avenues where they're finding success in getting some treatment and things for folks.
Definitely, and they also through fly fishing as well.
Okay,
they do like a fly. I can't remember the fancy word for fly fishing. I had it written down, but they do fly fishing therapy as well. They'll teach you how to make your own flies and fish. It's right there on, I believe it's the Ruidoso River that runs.
The
Ruidoso, yeah. And so it's a very helpful program, and like I said, it's 100% free to the veterans, to the first responders who go to this place, and they depend wholly on donations. That is what they're not government funded.
They're not tied into a big United Way or any kind of an organization to get money filtered to them.
Exactly. Yeah. And so it was also like our, the VFW Department of New Mexico, it was our state commander's thing was, he wanted all of the posts to donate to Healing America's Heroes. And we decided, well, we're going to go big. We're going to do this golf tournament, and we're hoping to raise as much as we possibly can.
Okay.
Because we're going to give a large chunk of it to them. They need help feeding the horses. It's Fort Stanton. Those are old buildings. I mean, they're Civil War era buildings. Upkeep. And of course, like they have besides the horse therapy and the fly fishing therapy, they've also got professional therapists who will go out there.
Okay.
And the thing is and those professional therapists, they don't charge anything.
Wow. They volunteer their services.
They volunteer their services as well.
Is it like an inpatient thing where the people stay there and do all this, or is it like you come each day to learn and then go?
Well, it's like, I think it's a 3 to 5 day program.
Okay.
Is what we're looking at. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And so again, they stay there.
Gotcha.
And
okay.
they feed them.
Cool.
They feed the people there, and again, they need money, they need help.
I'm guessing because, like we said, this is so grassroots and local here to Ruidoso.
Yep.
I imagine most of the folks that are coming through to seek treatment are probably nearby or New Mexico. I mean, I imagine they'll take anybody from anywhere, but I'm guessing most of their folks are probably from
southern New Mexico area, southeast New Mexico, the Ruidoso area, Lincoln County, Chaves County, Otero County, from all over those areas.
So it's really, really grassroots where it's
absolutely
you're helping your neighbors directly by getting involved with this, which I love.
It's one of those things. All the donations, they're going to stay local. They're going to stay right here in town.
Right.
They're going right here in town. We're going to give them to Fort Stanton. They're staying local, and so it's not like it's getting, like you said, like into a big government.
Sure, and then in people's hands, the middleman's get in and all that other stuff. So really, it's soup to nuts here on this one, and so if that's something that's important to you, which I know a lot of people like when they look to see charitable organizations support, and they're like, well, how much of it goes to the people it helps, and how much? Well, this one you can rest assured. So when you go out to whack a ball around the golf course on May 19th here. Your greens fees, your everything that you paid to be a part of the tournament will go helping these veterans, and of course our local veterans at the VFW.
Yes, sir. Too. Yes, sir.
So, which if for folks that don't know, as we always love to invite veterans, if you're a veteran out there and meet the eligibility requirements for VFW, love to have you come on out to the meetings. Of course, if you're not sure if your service qualifies you, Jason or any of the folks there can do the background check and dig into it for you on that.
And also, if you go to vfw.org,
okay,
there's a there's a website there, and there's like an eligibility checklist. It's basically, just to kind of sum it up, if you've ever drawn hazard fire pay or imminent danger pay, or if you've ever served in South Korea.
Yeah. Which is a perennial combat.
Exactly. Yeah. So, and a lot of folks, they don't understand South Korean service. Why it wasn't in the Korean War? Yeah. Well, no. Even if you're in South Korea today, you qualify for eligibility to join the VFW.
Yeah, that's for folks that are non-military. Korea, because the Korean War never ended.
Exactly.
They had a truce, and we're still technically in that truce.
Basically, just a ceasefire is all it is.
Yeah, and so of course we have military established in South Korea. And near the DMZ and all that. So anytime as a soldier, airman, sailor, whatever, you get sent in to do a tour in Korea, you're automatically kind of in a war zone and qualify for all the amenities, I guess, that comes with that. But that automatically also qualifies you for VFW service. So even if you said, well, I didn't serve in NAM, I didn't serve in the Gulf War, I didn't serve in a wartime military, you may have and not realize you did. Our military gets involved with a lot of things that aren't technically war that qualifies you for combat service. So please look into that. And if you're not sure, all you need is a copy of your DD-214, which every veteran, hopefully you got it grilled into your brain, that keep a copy of that with you. That'll tell you exactly what your medals, awards, and everything, and obviously your discharge status and all that stuff. So, but look there, and that should give you all that information. But that being said, kind of getting back to the golf tournament here, what's the best way for people to sign up and things? I imagine there's still some time to sponsor.
There's plenty of time.
If you want to sponsor a tee box or a hole or some of the other levels of sponsorship.
There's a lot of different levels of sponsorship. So you can call me. My phone number is 575-910-1860.
Okay.
Phone call or text. I'm working during the day, so if you shoot me a text message, it may take me a little bit of time to get to it, but I promise I will. So we're looking for sponsors. We're looking for donations. We're also looking for teams.
We need some teams to compete.
We have 4-man teams and 2-man teams. It's $100 per player for either team.
And that's kind of the standard. Fares usually for golf tournaments. Is it like a shotgun start and a 4-person scramble kind of deal?
So it's a 4-person scramble, and you know what? Give me a second here. I've got it right here.
Generally, they start them as shotgun starts a lot of time because you don't want everyone waiting to tee off. You know what I mean? If you got 20 people there and they're all tee off
we
in the
call
first
it
box.
A 4-man scramble and a shootout. Two-man shootout.
Cool.
That's what we call that.
I don't know all the rules. I'm not that deep into golf. I know enough to fake it, but
like I said before, I can slice that ball. I can make it look
right. Yeah,
great.
We talked about that. You and I got the boomerang effect on
Yep.
But you know what? To help veterans and to help folks in need, you can have the worst golf game on your planet. This is the great thing about it. Is sure, the golfers get competitive, and obviously the pro. At the golf shop will if they put teams together, they'll based on their handicaps and all that. But you don't have to be good at it to have fun, and it's not a serious. It's just a fun scramble and come and have fun, whack the ball, bragging rights. Maybe a few side bets here and there, and just
that's all it is.
Having fun. So,
go out there. We're doing it for a good cause. We're raising money for a good charity. Having fun. There's going to be a reception after the tournament. There's going to be food. It's going to be catered.
Good deal.
There's going to be raffles. There's going to be silent auctions. We've got a lot of cool things that have already been donated for the raffles and the silent auctions. Oh, absolutely.
Could still use more. So if anyone's got any things they'd like to donate,
use more
services, items, whatever that of value that you think people would like to win as a prize, we'd love to. If you'd like to donate something like that, again. All would go to help these both great organizations.
Yeah, definitely. And if you just want to come out and play, if you just want to bring a team,
sure.
Like I said, $100 a player. And, you know, you can do that as well.
Sooner than later on signing up, because I generally, because it is kind of starting into the golf tournament season, and usually about March, April timeframe, they start doing it every weekend. Just about there's a tournament at both the NIMI and the Nancy Lopez golf course.
Yeah, ours is actually going to be out at Country Club.
At Country Club. So this will be and out there too. So there's of all three.
Yep.
So so definitely sign up sooner rather than later, because if you wait till closer to May, I got a feeling that all the positions may be filled up.
It may, I know, because I know we've got quite a few teams. I don't know the exact number of it right now. My guy Mac Dyer, he's the guy that's he's the one spearheading this.
Good deal.
Oh, just doing an amazing job too. Is
he the golf guru or the?
He is our He
knows all the lingo and everything.
Oh yeah, he's the guy who's putting the golf tournament together.
Okay.
And there's a couple of other members, and they're just doing an exceptional job.
Good deal.
A wonderful job.
Excellent.
Doing a great job.
It helps when you have people that know that world and know how to do all that, and then it definitely makes it a lot easier to do that. Curious, like you said at the event, I'm sure that the door prizes thing, is there food and all that stuff too?
Yes, it will be catered.
Good deal.
There's going to be food. There's going to be drinks. Both alcoholic and non-alcoholic beverages.
Sweet. Yeah, it is at the Country Club.
It's at the Country Club.
So, and I imagine they're taking care of that kind of stuff.
Sir.
Very
yes,
good.
Sir. Yeah, they're going to cater
good
it.
Deal. They got good eats out at the Country Club. You've never been out there?
I've never eaten out there before.
Good. I've had several times, and the food's pretty tasty.
Nice.
So yeah.
So, but it's going to be a big to do.
Good deal.
But like I said, we are we're still looking for sponsors. There's different levels of sponsorship. We're looking for players. We're looking for donations. Anything you can do, anything you feel like doing, just give us a call.
Absolutely. Of course, you do have if you don't have Jason's phone number handy or anything, if you're a Facebook social media user, there is a VFW post one. Or I'm going to botch it already. 12184 VFW post 12184. If you type VFW Roswell, anything like that in the search, it should pop right up. Then you can like and follow, and then if you have any questions or want any, anything about becoming a member of the VFW or this tournament or want to sponsor, you could shoot a message up there, and one of the members will get back to you pretty quick.
We have a presence on Facebook. I got a guy that runs our Facebook page, and I run the LinkedIn page. We're also on LinkedIn as well.
Very good. So for those that use LinkedIn, I'm not professional enough for LinkedIn, but that's
neither am I.
But definitely, and of course, and what I'd like to do is, if we can, is as we get a little closer, maybe in April or we can maybe get some folks from Healing America's Heroes with us and talk and
definitely
talk a little bit more about if they're willing. Of course, I'm sure they're pretty busy, but if they got someone to spare to kind of talk a little about some of the stories and some of the things, their success stories, and kind of show people directly when you going out whacking balls, what kind of help you're giving to these folks. And things.
Eddie Crane is his name.
Okay,
and he's actually a member of our post too.
Good deal.
So he's actually the guy who found.
Does he live in Ruidoso?
He lives out there, I do believe.
So he's got a haul on those last Thursday of the month to go. To meet
it's a drive. Well, there's not a VFW post between here and Ruidoso, Artesia.
That's surprising because there's a lot of veterans around here.
There are a lot of veterans.
Yeah.
But he's the guy. He runs Healing American Heroes, and he's also the one who founded it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, that's great. Well, yeah. If he ever wants to make a trip down here one day, we can get. It doesn't have to be around the tournament, but just to get the word out, and maybe outside of this tournament, we can get a string of people steadily helping them. Keep from raising money, because obviously this tournament's hopefully going to bring us a bunch of money, but it's not going to be nearly enough to take care of what they're doing out there.
Oh yeah, they continuously they depend on donations.
And I imagine too that the idea is for them to get a little bit bigger and the ability to help more people, which would be more money, more amenities, more of all of that. So for it to grow, this is what it takes. So.
Yeah. But hey, I'd like to give a quick shout out.
Yeah,
to
absolutely.
So we, like I said, we're looking for donors, and we've got certain levels.
Got some sponsors already.
Got some sponsors.
Yeah, let's thank them.
So we've got our Medal of Honor level sponsors.
Okay,
these are the big
top
sponsors, top level sponsors. Desert Hills Electric, Genesis Endeavors, MBF Inspection Services.
Okay.
Perry Oilfield Services, Valley Bank, Roswell Honda, and Dupree.
Nice.
They have generously donated a substantial amount of funds to help us get this off the ground.
Awesome. Good deal. Of course, it doesn't surprise me with the Crumlin's group is always involved with veteran things.
They're always involved. Absolutely. Yeah.
I can pretty much guarantee if there's an event in support of veterans, 9 times out of 10, one of the Crumlin dealerships or all of the Crumlin dealerships are involved with it some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
So it's a big thank you to Crumlin. Obviously, technically he's your boss, I guess. Maybe not.
He is my boss.
A few rungs of people between you and him, but yes, he's your boss.
Yes, sir. Yep.
But we do appreciate that. So, and of course, like we said, if anybody's listening, come out. You guys meet on the 4th Thursday of the month. Is that right?
I guess depends on what month it is. If there's 3 or 4 or 5 Thursdays, last Thursday of every month.
Last Thursday, gotcha.
That's the last Thursday of every month.
At Grace Community Church
at 7:00.
Yeah, come
Grace
on out.
Church.
They'll have a little sign. I know it's a big church, but they'll have signs to guide you where the VFW folks are there. And so come on out. We probably you just missed the February meeting, but here in a couple of weeks we'll be doing it again. And love to have some vets come out and be a part and listen in and see if maybe becoming a VFW member might be something you want to do. Because obviously, the more members you have, the more that gives you a little bit more latitude to take on other challenges, because I'm sure you guys look and you say, we're going to support this, but imagine there's a few other passion projects on back burners that you guys want to work on too, and that takes bucks and people to do that.
Oh yeah, there's a lot more that we want to do.
Sure.
We want to start doing like local law enforcement, local first responder recognition. We want to start getting more involved in that. We want to start. So we're not exclusively by veterans for veterans.
Sure.
Yes, we're by veterans, but we're for the community as well.
Yeah.
We can do, of course, helping veterans, families, and there's a lot of community projects that we would like to, start.
Absolutely.
Helping the homeless, helping the hungry, those types of things as well.
Indirectly, I mean, you look at some of those issues, and there's a lot of veterans that deal with those issues, and a lot of it's, because they either don't know or don't want to take advantage of those resources. And so a lot of that, and again, it all goes hand in hand, but yeah, you're right. And sometimes veterans going through issues, the best way to help that veteran is to put that veteran in a position where he's helping others or she's helping others.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
That is therapeutic. We join the military and we raise our right hand and we swear an oath to the United States of America to uphold the Constitution, all enemies, foreign and domestic.
Sure.
We still have that drive to serve.
Sure.
We're not serving in a uniform anymore. I'm not carrying a rifle anymore or loading tank rounds anymore. I'm not doing that. But of course I still have that drive, that motivation to serve.
Absolutely.
I still live in this community. This is my community. This is where I live. This is where my home.
Sure.
So I want to take care of it the best I can.
And the military, if any veteran served any tour in military or gone through basic and things, it's kind of just how they wire us. As a veteran, you get wired that way. And even though, you go through basic and they tear you down and build you back up the way they want you to be as a military person. But that just transitions to life for a veteran. And every veteran does it. Even if it's simple stuff like, I always keep my right hand free because I'm carrying, because I never carry anything in my right hand because I might have to salute somebody.
You might have to salute somebody.
I've been in the military 20 years. I still habitually don't carry stuff in my right hand. But but that also translates to the mindset of life in general, how things are done. The military does a good job of training its staff to kind of get from point A to point B and how to do that with the path of least resistance. And so we kind of take that mindset and translate it into our personal lives.
Yep.
And so that's kind of every veteran's mindset. And that's kind of why every veteran kind of has an automatic, even if they've never met before or never served in the same job or even the same service, branch of service. There's that kinship. I know exactly. I know the cut of that person's jib, but at least a good amount of it. You know what I mean? And then you can't understand it until you walk through it a little bit.
Yeah. I know. I still walk with my fingers curled.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. It's like we can spot our own pretty quick.
But you know what I don't do? I don't make my bed.
You know what?
I never make my bed. I hate making my bed.
I'm the same way. Had I not been married, I probably would never be in a meeting.
Exactly. That's the only way my bed gets made is if my wife makes it.
I'll help her because I don't want to get in trouble. But yes,
there you go.
I know
there you go. Yep.
But that doesn't mean I can't. I tell you, I could bounce a quarter off my bed just as good as anybody else.
I could put those 45-degree corners on there, like
I just
like
don't
a champ.
want to.
I don't. I hate. That was the worst part of basic training was making my bed.
Mm-hmm.
My mattress got thrown out the third-story window of the barracks more times than anybody else's did. I was actually telling my wife about that a few days ago. It's just like I hated it.
Well, and fortunately, I was good at polishing boots.
Mm-hmm.
So I could trade out. Like we worked, and so I would work on people's boots.
Oh,
and
there
they
you go.
worked on my bed, and,
Okay.
and that was. And you don't. Of course, week one of that, you're all on your own and you're all failing. But when you get to the third, fourth week of basic,
now you find your knack.
And so and that's what happens. Ends up happening. You find the guy that's good at folding shirts, or the guy that's good at ironing, or the person that's good at making sure all the beds are all perfectly lined, and that kind of turns into your thing, and you do it for everybody.
Yeah, and that's kind of. I think that's kind of by design.
I think so too. I think
by
you're
design.
right. Yeah.
You learn teamwork. You have an infantry squad. You got a tank crew. Whatever you have, you've got each person specially trained in a certain area, and that's what they when they look out for everybody else.
Team concept, absolutely.
Team concept,
and
exactly.
And it's instilled in basic, and here I am 30 some years later. It all hasn't left me. So and that's pretty much the case with every veteran.
Yes, sir.
So come out to the next meeting, and of course, love to have you come and participate in the golf tournament. Again, it's going to be May 19th.
May 19th and 20th.
And 20th, a 2 day. It'll be at the country club here in Roswell. You can sign up. I guess you could probably go to the country club, to the pro shop there and sign up.
You know something? Honestly, I don't know.
Okay.
That's actually a pretty good idea.
Okay.
I can ask to see if that's...
I know typically a lot of times, because a lot of times it's usually the club pro, the course pro, that's because they're the most knowledgeable, the ones that usually set up the handicaps and the teams and stuff, because that's kind of what they do.
Yeah.
And so that usually a lot of times, just sign up through them. But obviously, if you want to be a sponsor or sponsor team or do something more than just be in the tournament, you call Jason or go to the Facebook there and shoot a message, and then we'll get sign-ups and get all the things lined up for you.
I'm driving around town a lot. I drive that black Honda Ridgeline. It's got the VFW magnets on it.
Can't miss it.
That's me. If you want to talk, wave me down or whatever, and it happens once in a while. I was waved down today over in front of the Office Max, and
I imagine on weekends it probably happens quite a bit. You got the magnets on there and you get some grizzled vets saying, there's VFW here.
But that's
in
the
town.
whole purpose of it. That's
Absolutely.
why I put those, Yeah.
Well, and it's great to see that VFW's back. I know we had a hiatus there, but in the last couple of years, you and some others have resurrected it, and and it's a good thing to have, and it's glad to see. I'm involved with American Legion too. Obviously, all this, but it's great to see we have this many organizations in town.
Absolutely,
a couple American Legion posts, or of course our Chaves County veterans.
Chaves County veterans,
VFW
they do a lot for funerals.
Yeah, so it's so great to see that we have a great selection of veteran-led organizations in town. So, as far as I'm concerned, more the merrier.
Yep. And what I'd like to see too. One of these days, I've been invited to join the American Legion. I need to, that intra organizational membership.
Yeah.
For example, one of the prominent members of the Chaves County Veterans Association is a member of the VFW post, and he's a very active member.
And I think a few of those are also Legionnaires too, in the other posts. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of nice. It kind of works out good to have that.
Yeah, and that's why I need to get into your post here, even if I can't, because I'm at 20 different places.
I hear you.
But at
same
least
here.
Being, supporting it, as a member financially, if nothing else, that's helpful at this level too.
And it's only $45 a year.
Yeah, which is cheap.
Yeah, you know what? I'll tell you what. Okay, again, my phone number is 575-910-1860. The first 3 people to call or text me saying they want to be members, if you're eligible to join, the first 3 people, I'll personally pay your membership for the first year.
Wow, there you go.
How's that? $45 a year, but I will personally take care of it.
Well, awesome. Very good. That's cool. So give Jason a call here. Give out your phone number in case they're just hearing this and they're like, oh, crap, what's his number?
Yeah. 575-910-1860.
Very good. Call Jason here, and of course, we'll get you in touch if you're driving and say, I didn't catch that. What was that number again? We'll make sure we get it.
Absolutely.
But please, veterans out there, if you're looking to get involved in something, or you feel like you're spinning your wheels and you're like, man, retired, or maybe just not satisfied in other. And looking for a place to get involved, camaraderie, service, whatever it is, VFW's can help you meet some of those needs. Via whether it's that camaraderie of hanging out and talking and chewing the dirt with people that thinking and been in some of the same places you have, or is it a place to say, hey, where can we put our abilities to good use to help someone else in our town?
Definitely.
So, and of course, too, it's like we said, yes, the organization is for is out to serve the community, but at the same time, always on the lookout for vets in need. If there's a vet that comes through town that needs, car breaks down, I mean, that kind of stuff happens all the time. I know we deal with that. I know you deal with some of that too.
A couple of times.
A vet comes in town and their car's broke down or something, they need some assistance or whatever. We do that. Or if there's a local vet here that has a house issue or some kind of issue, well, usually our VFW and Legions and all these rally to get some people to get some aid to those folks.
It's just for example, last week we had a Marine. I don't want to say former Marine because it's
no such
Marine
thing.
Always, I guess not.
No such thing.
She was up in Albuquerque at the VA hospital there. She lived in Hobbs. She needed to get back to Hobbs. Our state commander personally drove her as far as Roswell, and we met. And we leapfrogged,
cool.
we took her onto Hobbs, and it's just something, it was $50 in gas and food, and it's something that, but yet, to her, that was worth a lot more than $50 to know that we were out there taking care of her and looking out for her.
She's a Marine. She signed her name on that check to do whatever she needs to make this country great. And least we can do is give her a ride to
Dang right. That's, yeah. Well, it's kind of like you said, it's that thing that's ingrained in us. And, I was Army, she was a Marine. I'm a male, she's a female, but she's my sister.
Sure.
Okay. We both been there. We both done that. And so it's, not leaving that comrade on the battlefield.
That's right. At the party, we joke, attitude. And Marines will call them stupid. Army, we call them.
Air Force we love picking on the Air Force, though.
And so our always comeback is, we did good on our ASVABs.
You did excellent on your ASVAB.
But if anybody outside messes with them, but then it's that.
You know what? Yeah, exactly.
That's that. Yeah. No. You don't. You haven't earned the right to bag on that person.
Yeah.
Choose. Sign your name on the dotted line, and then come talk.
Only I can call it the chair force. Nobody else.
Exactly. That's the mindset. But
exactly.
But yeah, at the end of the day, it's even our Coast Guard brothers and sisters. I know we forget them sometimes.
And we got the Space Force now.
And Space Force, we're going to have to make some room at the table.
I'm still interested into seeing what is VFW membership eligibility going to look like for the Space Force?
I guess you got to have a few space battles first. I don't know.
Battles, where'd you serve? The moon?
Although I imagine they're going to be taking over a lot of the drones and some of that stuff. Maybe.
And I'm pretty sure they're tied into NORAD.
Yeah,
and all that stuff, maybe
anything Star Wars.
Yeah.
Not the movie, the missile defense.
Ronald Reagan type Star Wars stuff.
To tell me that doesn't exist, I think it exists.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it does, and I think it's in Holloman Air Force Base. But that's just my thoughts.
It could.
There's a whole part of that base. I was out there for 4 years. And there's a whole part of that base that people don't go to.
Yep.
It has its own airport, its own basically self-contained area, and you just can't get there from any normal part of the base.
Oh wow! Yeah.
I know it exists because of buddies and things, but what the heck goes on out there? No one. I think it's under the guise of the Weather Squadron, but. You ask me, I think it's the Star Wars thing that we didn't have. That
Fort Hood was the same way.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of stuff out at Fort Hood that you really don't know what's going on there. It's there, and you don't know how to get there.
Yeah.
And you're not. And if you find your way there, you're probably going to get shot at or arrested.
Exactly. So it's not worth trying to find out.
Exactly.
Something's going on out there. It ain't out there just cooking stew. I know that. Or seeing if it's cloudy out.
Yeah. No, they're not out there checking the temperature.
Exactly. Hunting oryxes. But anyway, yes, please come. And then golfers, please start signing up now. The sooner the better. Reach out and give out your phone number one more time, Jason.
575-910-1860.
Very good. Is there anything we missed? Anything we wanted to cover that we just
not that I know of? I'll probably, once I get in my truck, I'll probably drive away and think about it and remember it. But
sorry, shoot me a message and I'll make sure we get the word out.
Yeah, definitely, absolutely.
Good deal. Well, Jason, as always, appreciate the visit.
Thanks,
and we'll see you here next time. And I imagine we'll need to get you in a few more as we get a little closer to the event here. So
definitely. And I'd like to get a couple of other guys, members, who've been organizing it. I'd like to get the director out there at Healing American Heroes in here as
Definitely
well.
want to talk to him. I want to find out how, see if we can find out more ways to help him.
How's that sound?
Okay.
Next time we're on, I can see if he can make it down
I'd love to find out a way to, even just to see, after this tournament, how can people keep supporting you?
He can tell you a lot more about it than I can. He can tell you some cool stuff.
Well, he did found it, so
exactly.
He's like, what are you talking about? I don't know what that is. Jason is always free.
Now for a Pecos Valley news update, I'm Jared Cirillo. We begin today in Roswell, where an 11-year-old student is in big trouble after allegedly pouring bleach into a teacher's coffee cup. The incident took place on February 28th at Washington Elementary School, according to police. KRQE television reports other students had warned the teacher before she could take a sip of the coffee. The names of the teacher involved nor the student are being released, and the school district is not commenting. Also in Roswell, Police Chief Phil Smith is announcing his departure. In a letter posted to the police department's Facebook page, Chief Smith said the past 11 years have been without a doubt the most satisfying of his 39-year law enforcement career. Smith is credited with raising police officer salaries, modernizing technology within the department, and upgrading the fleet and facilities. Smith did not say why he's leaving or if he's accepted a new position elsewhere, only saying his final day would be March 31st. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo reporting.
Waking up on the right side. This is the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
Joe Biden was out there, I'm going to raise your taxes. And then the rest of it is not if you make under $400,000 a year. However, he didn't say that as of January 1st this year, he raised taxes on oil, gas, and coal to the tune of hundreds of billions of dollars, and pensions and corporations, $225 billion, I believe. And all of that impacts, if you tax oil, gas, and coal, if you tax pensions, if you tax corporations, again, corporations will pass the cost on to consumers. So he raised taxes on all of us. Then he's back telling us he's not going to raise taxes on people that make less than $400,000 a year.
From coast to coast, from sea to shining sea, it's the Sean Hannity Show.
Hey, this year you can finally get started on that home makeover that you deserve. Now you can upgrade to sleek new window coverings thanks to our friends at Blinds.com. Right now, save up to 40% off site-wide on premium custom window treatments. And if you need help in your selection, well, talk to a Blinds.com professional design expert. Shop Blinds.com right now and save up to 40% off site-wide, up to 40% off at Blinds.com.
Rules and restrictions may apply.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
This is Jason Espinoza with today's Capitol Report. Earlier this week, Senate Bill 7, co-sponsored by Senator Liz Stefanik and Representative Gail Armstrong, received bipartisan support on the Senate floor. The legislation proposes to create a rural health care delivery fund administered by the New Mexico Human Services Department. The program would provide grants to private for-profit, private nonprofit, and public rural healthcare providers to construct facilities or defray their operating costs associated with offering new or expanded healthcare services. Healthcare providers that provide healthcare services for the diagnosis, prevention, treatment, cure, or relief of physical, dental, behavioral, or mental health condition, substance use disorder, illness, injury, or disease, and for medical or behavioral health ground transportation, and is enrolled as a Medicaid provider that actually services Medicaid recipients would be eligible to receive grants. However, the bill does restrict eligibility to providers and facilities that are located in a county with a population of fewer than 100,000 people. The bill passed the full Senate on a 28-8 vote and was referred only one committee in the House of Representatives, the House Health and Human Services Committee. The budget currently includes a $20 million special appropriation to support the provisions of this legislation. For the New Mexico News Network, I'm Jason Espinoza.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Stationary front just off to our northeast, and that'll bring us some cloud cover today and a little bit of light rain possible. Our afternoon highs in the low to mid 70s. For the overnight hours, clouds will hang around. We'll drop into the upper 40s. Looks like another cloudy day on Wednesday with afternoon highs in the upper 70s, and then we get sunshine back on Thursday, mid to upper 70s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. Wall Street is sinking this morning, reacting to the congressional testimony of Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell. The Fed chief raises the possibility of stepping up the pace of interest rate hikes if the economic data justifies it in order to fight inflation.
Although inflation has been moderating in recent months, the process of getting inflation back down to 2% has a long way to go and is likely to be bumpy.
Powell's appearance today before the Senate Banking Committee is his first Capitol Hill testimony in 9 months. China's trade contracted again in January and February as U.S. and European demand weakened in the face of interest rate hikes. Lego says profits increased 5% in 2022 from 1 year earlier, and sales rose even as it raised prices on its higher ticket toys. Sales were up 12%. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.
Hi, I'm Dr. Keon at Carabelli Dental. Same-day smiles are what we do. My passion is helping patients chew, talk, and live with confidence. That's why I'm one of the few doctors in the U.S. who can create beautiful same-day smiles with the latest digital implant technology. This procedure is life-changing. Just ask Sean.
Hi, I'm Sean. I've been that voice that you've heard on the radio for most of my life, but I'm also a dad to 2 amazing kids. I've had a million reasons to smile, but in all my old pictures, I was never smiling. Truth is that life of improper care and being dealt a bad hand genetically left me practically with no teeth. It affected everything from the way I ate, the way I talked, and of course how I interacted with people. And that's where Dr. Keon and Carabelli stepped in. They eased my fears. They explained every step of the process in a way that I could understand, and they made me feel almost like I was part of the team. And now I can't stop smiling. I have so much more confidence, and I love looking in the mirror now. I can't explain how much of a difference Dr. Keon's dental implant process made for me.
Our team can help you find your smile too. Come see us at Carabelli Dental, 575-622-4455.
Pecans are a big deal here in Chaves County. We have some of the biggest orchards in the country, and lots of us have pecan trees in our yards. Hi, this is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. Whether you have 1 pecan tree or 1,000 of them, this time of year, every pecan tree needs fertilizing. So come see us at Roswell Seed Company, and we'll get you fixed up with the right fertilizer for your pecan trees, so that next year, your nuts will be big and beautiful. And that's all I'm going to say about that.
The great one, Mark Levin, is now in Roswell on 106.5 KEND Roswell.
And we're closing in on 10 o'clock. That's about going to do it for us for today's show. If you missed any part, don't forget you could check it out at your leisure. Just log on to ksvptv.com. Click on the Mornings with Mike Winters channel, and you'll find all of our interviews there. Of course, this morning we had Robert Sherman from the Walker Aviation Museum join us, talking about, just give us an update what's going on there and talking about some of their stuff. We had the folks from the Chaves County Health Council talking about these life support phones for people. If you're on Medicaid, Medicare, you can get a free phone or tablet. Check that out. And then, of course, this hour we played our interview with Jason Burke from American Legion Post 12184, talking about their golf tournament coming up here in May. All of that, ksvptv.com. Thank you for allowing us to be a part of your day. Have an amazing day. We'll talk to you bright and early, 7 a.m. tomorrow. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico. Have an amazing day. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Jason Weicker.